It's about that time, people. We've hit the midway part of Street Fighter League Japan 2025, and you know what that means. Runbacks, lickbacks. Will we see some people fall to the wayside once again, or will they get their revenge? My name is Seiko, and I'm joined with the commentary expertise of Vicious. My friend, how you doing?
Yo, I'm big chillin', but also really excited to see it. We talked about what had happened in the second half of plenty of Street Fighter League Japan seasons prior, and this is a make or break when it comes to a lot of these teams. We're talking about Division S this time around, kicking things off with the second half, and I gotta say, man, it is so hotly contested in terms of the current point spread. I'm so excited to see how it's gonna all come to the wayside as we get ready for playoffs.
You're talking about the points right now. Grenade Squad 140 at the top spot, but only 10 points behind is Crazy Raccoon with 130. Nagoya NTPOJA 120. Saishunkan Kumamoto 100. And then Victrix Favu Gaming only 80 behind. And then at last place, but not too far in the distance, CAG Osaka with 70. When we talk about hotly contested, anything could happen, especially at this beginning half of the season. And they're all playing for quite a bit. A lot of guap on the dot. 15 million yen. That is double the prize pool that we had last year. However way you slice it between the 4 players on those teams, it's going to be a lot.
No doubt. And also a supplementary prize pool to those that do get that big W at the end of it. And not only that, but also the prestigious title of Champions of Japan. These guys are going to be facing off against the other champions of Street Fighter League EU as well as Street Fighter League US towards the end of the CPT season over at the Ryogoku Gikan at Capcom Cup 12. Hello, I don't even know why I blanked out on that one, but I'll tell you what, man, that event itself, that promise of being able to face off against other champions is really lighting a fire amongst all the other players.
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see what happens with the US and EU. They are going to be live, so y'all tune in for that. But we are live right now for some Street Fighter League Japan, closer and closer. And again, watching these players travel out, get emboldened by the offline scene, watching them practice, watching them team up to either fight a certain character or get a game plan going has been nothing short of excellent out here. And we're also joined with the excellence of Storm Kupo. Shouts out to him for joining the commentary team. Love seeing the players come out here and hit the commentary desk as well, providing what they need to provide in terms of their in-depth strategies and all the things that are going on. But you know, you mentioned a lot of things that are going on in terms of how these players are awarded by being able to play the US and EU teams over at the finals. We mentioned the prize pool will also go down, the supplementary other prizes that we have in terms of the awards that we have listed for these players, which are quite a bit, and it's all done by the sponsors who've helped put this on. You know, we talk about Suzuki coming through, but let me just get right to the prize pool real quick, or the awards, excuse me. Grand Finals MVP, Division MVP, and that's one player from each division for that one. Rookie of the Year Award, Drive Gauge Efficiency Award, and our favorite, the Drive Impact Award, aka the Check Award, which has been working on some players and some others. They've been staying pretty solid.
And that's 50K yen awarded to each player as an extra prize. So a lot of extra incentives coming around, but also a lot of incentives to check out all of the big collaborations that have happened throughout the year. We have one very special collaboration with Vispo, the beloved VTuber group, that is interviewing the winning team after each and every match. So look forward to their energy and support throughout the entirety of the broadcast. I do believe they're having a live watch party on a multitude of their different channels going on right now as well. If you guys happen to understand and speak the language, be sure to check them out as well. They have really interesting insights, and also rather entertaining if you happen to put on the subtitles if you're a English speaker like ourselves. But for the most part, these guys have been really putting in a valiant effort towards like actually coming up with really solid questions to ask the winning teams each and every week. So look forward to that. Vispo doing an amazing job, and also all of the watch caravans that have been happening for all of the organizations. I know we had a very special occasion with Red Bull Gaming Sphere in Tokyo not too long ago. Throughout the entirety of like our last, I want to say like 4 or 5, 6 weeks or so, because we had to cover each and every team getting their moment to shine over in Tokyo, and it is quite a way to travel for some of these teams. But this is just a list of the many places that do these live watch parties. I know Kokuni actually had done a couple of broadcasts himself at a bar that a lot of the FGC likes to go to, and he was doing like live commentary there. He had like the house microphone and was throwing it down and watching everybody play, and it's so cool. It's so reminiscent of like his former glory, I should say, when it came to him commentating Third Strike. So it's really, really cool to see a lot of these different venues throughout the entirety of so many different regions, so many different areas. Broadcast SFL, like imagine going to a restaurant and going to a bar, like your favorite hangout spot, and they're throwing down with Street Fighter League Japan and everybody's into it. It is a whole different life-changing experience. I guarantee you that.
It's not even like in the background type. It's like everyone like glued to their seats watching it intensely. 3 columns full of places to watch people play. That is absolutely insane. So you know that Japan really gets down with the streets. And really appreciative to see, again, those bars and things like that host that and allow people to kind of just watch it together. There's nothing better than watching with your friends and homies and in person. Obviously, Discord's fine. And through the chat and Twitch with us is great. But when you're sitting with somebody and maybe you're rooting for a different team, there's no better energy than that. But getting down to the nitty gritty, the first match we're going to have is Good 8 Squad versus Crazy Raccoon. Last time, Crazy Raccoon took it 30-10 over Good 8 Squad. They Squad only leaving with 10 points to their name, but Crazy Raccoon really drawing blood to start things off as one of the first matches of Street Fighter League. I'm not mistaken, might have been the actually first match that we had for Street Fighter League. Kazunoko was beating Kawano despite thinking that he had the Kemi matchup down. Gachikun then beat Banchan, but then Shuto handles Sahara. We'll see how things go down, how the order's going to be. We're about to see Crazy Raccoon step up to the stage on the away side. Take a look at the judge, the jury, the executioner. It's Papa Banchan about to land those big jumpers off the jump fears from Sagat, or maybe a different character going back to Goki. After that is one loved by all fighting games, but hated by those he has to play against. It's Kazunoko, the styes with the dive kicks with Kami. After that, the Asura, kiss the fist. It's Shuto, maybe running something a little bit different. Might be seeing a little bit of Ryu today, possibly. We'll have to see, we'll have to see. Last but definitely not least, the devil strategist that made the proper deal with the devil is Dogura on the Bison, but more importantly and more recently on the Elena. These cats have been cooking inside and outside the league. As per mentioned, they're at second place position. Will today they take the top spot? We'll have to see.
Really big question to ask, considering they are on the away side. Banchan looking hyped as ever. I hope he gets to play. Let's talk about one of the most prestigious teams to grace us in not only the land of Japan, but also in the realm of Street Fighter 6. That's right, get a good look at the champs. Good 8 Squad. One of my favorite compositions to date when it comes to top-notch talent, and also excellent character selection and variety. Let's take a closer look. Going into it, our first member of Good 8 Squad, in my opinion, one of the strongest rookies, and also the fearless. It is Sahara with that ever-impressive and evolving Ed. Followed by the Cosmic Buster, the one who speaks in haikus. It is Pugera. One of my favorite players of all time. It is Kawano, the Singularity. Always changing it up on us, whether it's Akuma or the Luke. The tried and true, the #1, the honest hero of Good 8 Squad. It's Gachikun. A lot of things have been kind of changing up for Gachikun and Good 8 Squad these last couple of weeks. We've seen a lot of them play over at UFA. We've seen how they've done over at week 2 of their World Warriors. A lot of changes in regards to Gachikun's approach I've watched from his streams in regards to some of the matchups he's been preparing for. And I don't think he's going to be switching characters anytime soon, but he's been really kind of contemplating a new style of Gachikun when I had the chance to see it. If he's not opening Pokemon cards on the stream, that is. But these guys do have the home field advantage. They're going to be able to pick and choose some of their counter picks. However, it's a different type of squad when you're facing off against Crazy Raccoon. Dogura, aka Toguro, has been running the Elena for a very, very long time. And has gotten to a really, really sharp positioning to the point where it's been more of a fire underneath a lot of the players who have not had that experience just yet. Kazunoko's been dabbling a lot also with Sea Viper these last couple of days, but Kami is going to be the choice. Shuto with the Ryu, as Senkola had prefaced it there. So who do you send up for Dogura? I think Kawano.
Yeah, I feel like Elena's such a hard call to fight if you don't have the experience. Even if you have the experience, Dogura's just a step ahead of so many people. So to ensure that you can fight a character like this, have a character with a vast toolkit. and that's Akuma, right? I feel like Akuma is a very easy option. I think his fireball speed is really good. It's hard for her to contest and get around, even though she has ways around it. Heavy fireball, the various of the fireballs, OD that he can expend, and the buttons right after make it very difficult. I think his ranges are really good against hers in some cases. The walk speed can keep up with hers. Her back walk speed's really good. His forward walk speed's really good, so he can kind of chase her down quite a bit. And I think Kawano is like an underrated lab rat when it comes to playing his characters. Like, you can see very minute things in how he understands like defensive like wake ups or whatever, or what he does in terms of like his wake up decisions, like how he alternates, and some of that is based on the risk reward or how much damage he might be taking, you know, or the setups that a person's going to be doing. So I feel like he has like a really good understanding like outside of like what people think that he does. So Kawano, good decision to come up, but man, Dogura getting that top 8 spot over Evo France though, this man is so diffy with this character, even as a player.
Yeah, he has a very unique approach to fighting games, in my opinion, right? He's so well versed in so many different ones, but like he's also not one to shy away from into like DLCs. He's kind of had that look, had that perspective, even since Street Fighter 4. We saw it very much so in Street Fighter 5 as more people started to watch Street Fighter in general, really tune into the FGC. But Dogura is definitely that dude to kind of grind it out with some of these DLCs, not even just for like a little bit to kind of catch people off guard, but for long term, right? He knows how to make a character work for the playstyle that he's looking for, and he's not afraid of any of like the higher barriers of execution, or at least some of the tools that may or may not like contest against the meta.
I feel like that play second sort of style that Elena has to do is kind of what he wants, because he really is that almost psychic sort of style that we talked about over in 5. You see it here in 6, where it just feels like he knows what you want to do before you do it, and those counters lead to so much for Elena. I mean, she dumps out quite a bit of damage and gets a carry. She just has to find access, but Dogura does that so well with this character. And Dogura said, hey, I knew Kawano was going to come through. When you look at Kosaku's CFN, at Evo France, I lost, but I will win this time. I forgot they played. Kawano said,
it was
I won at Evo France.
By the way.
Oh, you're right. Kawano said, I won at Evo France, but I played against his Bison. I'm excited to play against his Elena, so that's something different. He has a different sort of look in terms of a character, so let's see if it's a different result.
Yeah, I do like the idea of switching up to kind of test your limits. I don't mind having an Elena pick because you actually have a little bit more leeway on defense against somebody who's just so suppressive, right? We talk about Akuma and his presence, not only just in neutral, but also what happens if he happens to corner you, right? So let's see if that actually comes into fruition. If Dogura is going to be able to kind of stop Kawano within neutral and get her, Elena's momentum started. Yeah, that drive impact immediately getting checked. Just tally another one up on the board for Kawano towards that award at the end of it all. I like that, the sweep from longer distances too. And it was a counter hit against Kawano, possibly going for a lot more fireball suppression.
Oh, that's true. Good poke to him, as we mentioned. He's so good about playing second. Does land the overhead, finds a confirm right after, rolling it, not to expend any bar, wants to keep it for, try to drive rush up, but hit with the stand medium kick. Try to initiate, Kawano says wait, but the wake-up decision here from Dogura definitely stopping the damage, stemming the bleeding for a little bit. Another stand medium kick. If there is one Akuma that uses that button to perfection, it is Kawano. As a confirm, as a stopping point, we saw it even with France, and we're seeing it right now.
And the timing was everything too, like understanding when and what space Dogura wanted to press the button. You saw that counter hit, you saw the buffer behind it as well. Really excellent choices from Kawano, but now the damage being dumped out from Elena off of that single hit. But letting go of the offense immediately, back throw from Kawano, what a call out.
COD fireball, finds confirm with the stand medium punch. That's an overhead, the leg lock with the throw right after. Dogura's got the lead with the DI. Against all these advancing decisions and specials that she has, you can definitely DI him. Gets a sweet, I need to get the pickup after that. And the overhead, you are dead. Dogura. Wow.
Mad smart. Being able to dance past the fireball, preventing any sort of Shoto to kind of drive rush behind it for free. Really, really good call, but now the punish counter coming in. Wake up super, that's gonna be blocked. Heavy damage coming in, but more importantly, that corner positioning, right? In that corner, Kawano gets to have maximum control. Dogura trying to create some space for himself. The perfect parry into the sweep doesn't work out in time. Kawano, adamant fist, does get the level 3, more than enough damage to dump out. Game 1, pretty convincingly in the wins that Kawano did get in those rounds. Dogura, I will say, gave it a fighting shot, did get around for himself as well.
But then you see again Kawano's understanding of these matchups, what to do. You know, we talk about how it is hard to find that lane of practice, but Kawano's stuck in the lab, knew how to DI some of these interactions when Dogra tried to pull up. Kawano takes first blood, first game. Harassing with the fireballs, hard for her to contest unless she has the proper distance. Reversal jabs, counter hit, the meaty fireball again, just advance in.
Yeah, just a little bit too shy off the mark on that sweep. Kawano ready with the punish. Perfect parries coming in from Dogra. Despite the scaling, that's still a lot of damage. Actually, no, it was a perfect parry on the fireball, excuse me.
Word? He caught the back heavy kick? Ready for everything. Kawano surviving in the corner right now. DI right back out of the last frame. You can't do it to him.
Dogra taking a lot of big risks with these drive impacts. He's been very liberal about it, at least within this round. Punish counter on the way down. Does get that light, nice and easy too. The corner carry is everything. But again, the timing being picked apart against Dogra by Kawano by some of these lights. Doesn't last for too long though. Dogra trying to enforce his will, gives up the corner with some of that aggression.
Oh, lucky boy. Out of the corner with the back throw, get the punish counter as well. Adamant Fist, Tatsu right after it, the DP level 3. Get extended damage in the corner because that Adamant Fist to get more pickups up in the corner. About to put him down. Close to death, lacking in drive gauge and health. It's a one-touch scenario. All the OD fireballs you want to throw, but that was supposed to be a fireball. It's a big whiff.
Damn, that is a ton of health. Fireball's kind of scary here too. Within this range, Dogra perfect parries into a slide perhaps, but from further out, Kawano's a little bit safer.
Oh, that could have been it. I kicked DRC right after, would have been the finish. Did not have the medium right after, wasn't close enough. Perfect parries the overhead. Kawano ready for damn near everything. Overhead DI, it doesn't matter. Prepped and prepared against a matchup that you don't typically get to see. It doesn't matter if it's the Bice or the Elena, Kawano takes him down once again.
Put him in the Bat family. My man was prepared for Dogra. And this is like personal, I feel like. Not only have these guys have had like a lot of history against each other outside of like EVO, outside of just right now, outside of Street Fighter League. These guys work out together too, man. Like, Kawano, why you gotta do your homie like that?
Hey. He said, you know, you gotta lift more, brother. You're not lifting like me. Maybe got a good pump. I don't know what happened to Kawano, but he was playing even more. You know, I feel like his wake-up decisions are always really good, but even more so, I feel like his matchup knowledge, like to know that that range that overhead's gonna be coming through and going for the proper perfect parry, whether it could have been a slide or whatever applied, that man was on game right now, and that's 10 points for Good Aid Squad to lead things. However, Kazunoko sits up next. Kawano's off the table, and I thought that Kawano might go up also because, you know, I thought he might be in form with the Kemi matchup and get his revenge. Who do you send up now?
I think Gachikun. Ah, Pugera. Okay. Well, it was either Pugera. My eyes were on like either Gachikun or Pugera, but I don't know if I think that. Just kind of skip over a little bit. I don't know if I like Gachikun as the anchor against the Ryu match. I think Sahara might actually be in the anchor spot for once on this one against the Ryu.
Yeah. I think a fresher Ryu. I agree. I think Sahara would be a better pick, especially against Shuto if he's playing Ryu. If it's Akuma, I would like to think that Sahara's got some more data from last time they fought. He kind of got a body a little bit. But I would like to think that Sahara would come up for a fresher Ryu that isn't as informed, can control him, crowd him a little bit more. If the Akuma comes up, then at least you have more data to fight with. So I agree. However, you know, this isn't the worst pick in terms of choices if you cycle through. Like, Gachikun probably would have been better because I think his Cam experience is so good. And he doesn't do too bad against the Camis when he has to fight him, despite that being not so fun for Rishi to fight. However, Pugera on Sagat, I want to see what he has in this matchup. Sometimes I feel like the Kemi players kind of whine a little bit because they're like, oh, I can't jump in because the forward heavy kick and the heavy kick. But it's like one misplaced fireball, one misplaced dive kick, and the steamroll starts. The counter pokes are really hard for Sagat. He's slower on that side of things, so it's hard for him to get back in the driver's seat. So I want to see what Pugera has. He did mention that he wants to buff out that Sagat, get it better, get it ready out here for League and make it stronger. So all the other characters that he plays, DJ would have been good, but I don't know if he's played DJ in so long. So we'll see what the Sagat got right now.
Oh, I gotta hear what Kazunoko's saying. My man, he could talk game. He could spit game sometimes, man. Damn, the look on his face too, the way he delivered it. It's like deadpan with the extra blinks of confidence. I love this guy, dude. This guy is
oh my God.
He's forever gonna be my hero, man. Kazunoko is just different, man. Easily one of my favorite players of all time. Like still to this day. All jokes aside though, like I feel like it's hard to justify Sagat against Cammy right now in the current meta, but Pugera has kind of been one to kind of break the mold. We saw that over at EWC. We've seen that the last couple of weeks with Sagat as well. But he's also like been, what is that? Did you just say come by? Was it cheers? Giving a cheers to water?
Okay.
It's either sake or water. I don't know. Going back to my point. So Pugera back and forth has gone like Sagat week 5, Jury week 4. And then Bison in week 3, right? Cycling through those different options just make me a little bit concerned when you have someone as strong as Kazunoko rocking the Cammy. So as much as I'm not too sure about the matchup at hand right now in the current state of the meta, I just think I would have been a little bit more risk averse trying to play it out with like either Gachikun or Sahara to kind of like hammering my point from previous. But talking about the interviews itself, Kazunoko, I was predicting Pugera coming, but I think I could do a good match. I always call him Pugechi, but today I'll call him Pugera. Bring it on. I don't want to. I shouldn't have read that. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of harsh that you would call a homie a little bit of a weirdo like that. But Pugera, his response, I think in this team, everyone knows I will go for Cammy. I'll send a cheers for myself before I even play. Kampai.
You're gonna need it. Not the most fun matchup. Wild to see him think that he can, take on this matchup. But again, this character is still developing. There's not that many Sagat players that are like super high level, so there's still more to discover with him. As the negative people can be, we have seen Pugera work against Mickey over EWC. So with an evolved Sagat, he might have something with it to stand fierce to stop the dive kick preemptively. But that button exposed a little bit too much. That's why we saw the sweep.
The onslaught begins now for Kazunoko. Both a little bit dry on the drive gauge as well. While Kazunoko does have the corner control, that is an excellent choice. Down below, a little bit of a delay off of the drive rush. Hella damage. Not going to go for an Oki route, by the way. He's just going for damage to reset into neutral.
Does he play an effective range with the mediums? Boss up the dive kick. There's a crouching mini punch right after. Backdash, punish. Should be level 2 to finish it off. Oh, he doesn't even need that. The heavy charge DP for the finish. Optimal stuff for Pugera. Keeps the bar in his pocket. Ooh, we'll drop there.
Kind of difficult to contest right now. Pugera running out of a state behind him. Tiger knee. That was plus, by the way. The screen did shake. No whiff punish on the roundhouse. Kazunoko still trying to throw it out there against Pugera. Sniping out the dive kick with a very delayed uppercut.
They're on point against the dive kick pressure, either blocking it out or finding anti-airs or backdashing, cycling a lot of defensive options, which is difficult. So walking towards the corner, Spinnacle through to just get some plus frames on. The heavy kick right after. Hits the stampede kick, does not commit to the button right after. We'll get the confirm though. You saw Kazunoko kind of pop back in his chair. He's like, oh yeah, I'm dead. DP, level 3, crack the legs out, then crack the skull.
What a nice confirm too. Off of the crouching medium punch, being able to cancel into that. Pugera dumping out the damage. That's what Sagat's known for, right? Some of these single hits can lead to such massive, massive damage. Pugera letting it be known in game number 1.
Okay, hard knockdowns, not getting the punish counters. 3-piece towards the corner. Kazunoko getting a better job of like whip punishing some of these medium normals. The stand medium kick has been poking a lot. Range is where he wants to be at. He'll confirm right there for Pukera to get some space in this place, or some Oki, or some distance outside the corner. All to do continuously.
Oh. Excellent defense so far from Pugera, right? Kazunoko didn't want to take any extra chances, but that is a huge, huge confirm. The long limbs of the law. Sagat coming in through. Cross frames on that medium punch. He actually committed to the rest of the target combo. Really sneaky. Now getting even more damage off of the overhead. So far, pretty good defense from Kazunoko.
Yeah. The poke with the crouching kick, perfectly done. Get the counter hit. Game and round up, Pugera is playing this amazingly. I've not seen a Kami on the back foot on the ground and not able to land any sort of aerial approach and lands the roll nexus. Caught him coming in.
Oh, you pressed the button after a standing medium punch, you madman. Ah, I like that. Training Pugera to try to press buttons afterwards, plus scenario, I get that. But he went for a throw, surprisingly. I mean, who wouldn't press buttons after a plus frame normal, right? Oh, that's huge! Oh, you're hella dead! The dump out of damage on top of it. Jesus. Pugera. All of these single hits just making Kazunoko bleed and tearing open the wound every single time. Kazunoko mincing niceties in the very beginning. Now eating his words with a full course meal of bus ass coming in from that Sagat from Pugera. Damn!
Brother, some people gotta go on a diet. That's unfortunate. Just hearing the damage, hearing the dump out, and watching the opportunities that Pugera was presented and taking them and running with them, and how he's able to avoid the dive kicks. Kazunoko lost. I feel like Kazunoko, at least when we watch him play Kami, he really likes to get aerial. He likes to get that comfortability on the ground so he can start get the aerial pressure and approach going, and that was not happening. And it seems like every time that Pugera hits, for the most part, at least 9 or 8 times out of 10, it was going to hurt. And Sagat can double the damage as you mentioned, but to have access to convert damn near every single time, like, god dang, look at that. Chunks and chunks. Damn near half just gone from that. Pugera. He said he was ready, and he's shown me a lot more in this matchup. So 20 points up, good 8 squad. Are they gonna clean sweep? It's down to Shuto. Now, we talked about this like a few episodes ago where Shuto wasn't able to play. He was in the X position, but he had that Ryu up, and he was ready to play if need be. Now the Ryu's up for the anchor position. It's only been maybe like 3 weeks, I think, since he's been practicing this character. I don't know if it's a full switch, but this is a kind of a desperate thing to pull up. Ryu, new, and going up against Gachikun?
Yeah, we called it.
It's might be kind of difficult, man.
Yeah, we 100% called it too. If it was one or the other, it was either like between Gachikun and Sahara. Actually, no, I thought it was gonna be Sahara. My fault. But I like it. I mean, it's something that Gachikun's gonna be very familiar with. I mean, Shuto, he could say he's familiar with the matchup, but it's a whole different breed when it comes to Gachikun's playstyle, right? We talk about some of the best defense in the game, or I guess in the FGC, and Gachikun's definitely got that on lock. Shuto, I'm a little bit worried about, right? We talk about like his current prowess, or his current progress, I should say, for lack of better words. Akuma has been like the main choice for him majority of the time. But on his stream, I kind of dabbled and watched some of his Ryu play. I think he's taken influence from Blaz and tried to really implement his way of throwing out different looks with Hashogeki specifically. We'll see if that actually matters towards someone like Gachikun, right? Trying to play footsies with Hashogeki is a little bit scarier than most other options.
Yeah, throw it out. If they backwalk and whip punish with the crouching mid kick, which again a defensive player can do, that's going to be kind of problematic. Or throwing out in strings where they can perfect parry, take the turn back. Those big dumpings of damage moments that Ryu's known for aren't going to happen as much, I think, on a defensive player like Gachikun. And honestly, Gachikun and Sahara are going to be like perfect choices either which way, because I think both of them have that control style that are going to be good to control and corral someone like Shuto when he's not used to the character. So like, I want to see his game plan. But I am a little worried, and I don't know if it's like a permanent switch or not. Because like talking to him, he thought that there were some elements of Akuma that were weak. He didn't really like the health, and he thought that his like defensive style, or like when he needs to be defensive, that like switch is a little bit too late. Like when he needs to play defense, it's a little bit too late. I think that his activity, his aggression is like the best part about him, but his defense is a little bit on the lacking side, so maybe that's why he wants to character with more health, with more reward when they hit mid-screen. I'm not 100% sure, but he did say that he has finally made his Ryu ready. He said, thank God Gachikun came. So he is actually thanking the Lord above that Gachikun's coming to fight him. I don't know if you are praying to the right person for that one, brother, but Gachikun said, we lost on the first episode. We want to get our revenge. Great that we have the first 2 wins. We'd like to finish off with 40 points. It might be possible. I'm not trying to prophesize no demise. With the new character, Shuto, you better show me something out here.
I love how you had like secret boss Sahara like show up on the stream, like on the in the seat, and because like how the camera works, like if he turns a certain way, then you get like the full body. I'm like, oh damn, that's kind of sick. Anyways, Gachikun Shuto anchor match. First 3 does get the counter in on the overhead. Coming in with the onslaught now. Gachikun spinning mix, safe jump over, forward throw. So much to work with. Gachikun just so active. Enhance it, spend the rest of the bar. Arabian Cyclone, Arabian Sky High. You already know what the deal is. First round, Gachikun clean.
So the first of 2 bars sitting real close to it. 2 bar with that medium to hit. A little bit stubby on that follow-up. This character, perfect parries the fireball though, getting that bar back and shoot though. As you mentioned, a lot of specials. Hashokeki, every so often, there's the OD right there. Donkey kick, it does burn out Gachikun, but he has level 2. If he can get a back throw, switch it up a little bit, he can survive. Oh, right on time.
Oh, that hit for the last second. That solar plexus is gonna hurt. Pretty decent corner carry on that. Gachikun just backing away to safety.
Going to fireball, but mine's better. Mine lands a little bit more in terms of Oki. Back jump, finds a stand fierce. Okay, you have to watch the block. I see. Level 3 immediately. Dump out as much as possible to get the kill. And that means there's no bar at the bottom. You stave off. That loss of game right there, not too bad. Back jump fierce is a blog special we see quite a bit. Has been watching the tapes.
Oh, could have been a bigger hit. Tried to go for the throw instead. Gachikun forced to retreat into neutral. The big jump in fierce, you had just mentioned it earlier. Forward roundhouse like Tatsu for the Oki as well. Still able to recover in time to get that throw.
The ball comes in like it. Shuto. Okay, my mistake. I know you have ball like that. My bad, brother. My bad. I'm gonna hit you with the sub later. I'm so sorry. Shuto. Wow, brought that back from the brink of defeat. The timing was really good. It felt like when he stopped playing so many specials and he started utilizing the normals and the walk speed, the fireballs every so often, he was able to walk Gachikun down and take what he needed to take in terms of damage. And finding the jump ins and timing against the fireballs was also, you know, a part of that with the big jump fierce, as mentioned. But like, man, okay, Shuto, I see you, man. You know what to do with this character. My mistake. I'll never doubt you again.
Operating kind of differently. A little bit of a change up too. So now, what is it that Gachikun needs to do to kind of adapt to it? Right? That's always going to be the big question. Dude, this is throwing me off so bad. Just the half Sahara.
Why is... It's looking like
throwing me
I
off
can't
so
spoil
bad.
that. I can't spoil that, but you know what I'm about to talk about. I can't do that. I can't do that. But yeah, it looks a little.
Oh, I know what you're talking
anyway,
about. I know what you're talking about.
Half the man he was.
That's pretty. Yeah. It's hard to tell like what the adjustments need to be, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Part of me thinks that like maybe more OD fireball gets to like the fireballs that are presented, but that's a lot of bar to have to be expended right there. I think the patient play is good. It's just like there are not enough moments where you can turn the tide. But that's also kind of hard because the way that he's playing is walking forward with buttons now. He's not just using special Hashokeki, donkey kick, you know, the layer 1 of Ryu. He's implementing a lot more and the jump in. So that means that your fireball game has to be picture perfect. So there's a lot that needs to be done, but I'm not sure either. We'll see if Gachikun can understand. They did take the time out. We'll see what happens now.
Oof. Already off to an amazing start is Shuto. Overhead, backing away. Plus rings on that. Checking with the medium. Keeping it rather tight in regards to like his current approach. Damn, you press a button after plus against the solar plexus. Gachikun's trying to make some really heavy reads on defense.
Has not left the corner though. The jail no bail. Still close with that corner. Overhead. Takes the turn back with the jab again. No back throw. Didn't happen. Catches the heavy kick right there. Yeah, we've seen him back jump quite a bit. Empty back throw again. Shoot, those jump timings have been pretty damn ambiguous and dangerous. And we know that Rishi already has an issue trying to anti-air in the first place. Oh, caught him low. Susie stood up.
Oh! Yeah, trying to go for a drive reversal. Gachikun definitely ready for it as well. This is an opportunity to get the rest of that extension, but it's totally fine. He does get a pickup. Shogeki coming on in. Got the punish counter, but not going to be enough. Dumping out the rest of the drive gauge. Gachikun, nice and easy, builds up a bar for himself towards the end of it all. Shuto also sitting at 3 bars. Real dangerous territory.
Yeah, round 3 bars from Ryu. Put you in the cemetery real quick. I saw the Phenom clips. Nice interruption with the jab.
Good interruption.
Knock him down for the Oki. Great knowledge to get that forward throw to level 2.
Great defense from Shuto. Very minimal damage from that exchange. And now the big opener going right into the level 3. So this equalizes the life and also builds up a gang of drive gates for himself. It's just a matter of whether or not he's going to choose to drive rush up or play it a little bit slower. Yeah, fireball's the choice.
Normal fireball. Drive rush, struggles with the delay throw. Almost got the jump, but that's OD fireball. Recover a little bit better. Perfect parry, not a true string. And the DI. Oh, brother, the double DI. The double, no prize. Do it to him again. Oh, we get the award, baby. Shoot
so
though.
Smart. He's so smart too. Gachikun tried to steal turns with the Cyclone. Shuto ready with the perfect parry. And also what's really smart about that is, obviously he's not going to go for any sort of damage jump, right? He sees that Gachikun is lacking in regards to drive gauge, so doing the double drive impact combo to drain him, and also seeing that he has 0 bars left on super to ensure the checkmate, that was so well calculated from Shuto.
Clean jump back. You know, I gotta say, Shuto's defense with this character is actually better than Zakuma. Slides on the fireball though. Good stuff from Gachikun to skate under through. Shimini punch that donkey kick, caught him trying to retreat. Overhead, gonna be back thrown instead though. Fireball not catching anything, Shuto did not jump. Kick throw.
What a bait!
Oh, the bait! You kidding me, Shuto? Oh, you should have killed. Oh, you can't clip that down for your real brother. You gotta finish the job.
Damn, he hit you with the Night Shift Street Fighter 4 old bait jump OD Tatsu for the fake out. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. That is some old school tech.
That's it. They get the finish though. As up in the corner, this has been a big problem right here for Gachikun. He's gonna spend all the level 3 right now. I think the early meter dump is not too bad if you survive in the next round. More chance to build up that bar and check the damage. That is insane. Shuto.
Oh my god, what was that?
Air to air. I don't know, maybe an air to air. I'm not sure why he timed it like that though.
Yeah. Perhaps. I can definitely agree with that. Send out the tornado. No, not quite. Now you do. OD. Oh no. Excellent block. No resets here. Gachikun saving that extra bit of effort for those final moments. Nice work. Getting game number 3 off a very impressive block against the overhead. Now, I gotta say, I wonder if OD Cyclone into like, OD Spinning Mixer into OD would have just been enough damage into OD Sky High into level 1, but I'm not too sure either way.
Yeah, maybe. Still Gachikun came on the board though. Nice. Gonna walk in with the crouch to kick BRC right after. Charge up fireball. It's a level 2-1. Preparing the knockdown with the sweep. This time the medium instead of an overhead.
What an interruption!
He knows the strings of the interruption.
So smart too to call him out. Gachikun has actually had not a lot of success with some of these cyclone strings so far.
Oh. It's a throw. Again, the bait. No punish this time. Oh my god, yo, shoot though. I like the idea. I need to see the execution though.
Anti-air. Oh, this back throw is everything. Shuto. He's gonna be hanging back. He does have Denjin. No way. Super. The railgun coming in. Big buff being played out. Punishment on the fireball against Gachikun. He had Denjin locked in. Gachikun wasn't aware of it.
It's pretty good. Level 2. Him with the shim with the heavy kick. Nothing doing just yet. No opening. He'll take this throw. Oh my god, I thought that was actually going to avoid, but he does not recover in time. It's an easy punish counter. Gachikun puts him right back up in the corner, staggering the sand mediums. Now backing up with the fireball. You try to drive rush up. I have the only DP to stop you. Meaty crouching, medium punch. Catching all the defensive time. This is the perfect KO.
Oh. God, this song is so sick.
It's clear. Back dash level 2. Start it up, push him towards the corner. Then we go for the shimmy throw first. Kumamoto.
Shuto saving off some of those some of those throw loops as well. So I love the defense thus far. The options on offense, yes sir. Waiting for the big whiff against Gachikun. Level 3 dump out right now. Pretty significant standing right now in regards to the life lead. Resetting into neutral. Let me see that fireball. No, he faked it out. Gachikun maybe was expecting the same thing, but not going to be too bad about it. That's going to be more than enough damage. Shuto keeping the dream alive for Crazy Raccoon. We're going into a tie ball game.
Once again, Shuto, my apologies. I know your Ryu was like that. When I watch him on the stream, it's a different beast when he gets out here on the streets of Street Fighter League Japan. Doing it for his team, as you mentioned, staying alive, and that Ryu was super sick. And I feel like you see some of the tendencies that you would expect of his Ryu with some of the aggression. However, his defense as a player has gotten better. Before, I feel like his timings were not as good, but doing things like this jump back fierce, like, you know, taking some inspiration from Blaz, the timing with that crouching light kick that he had up in the corner previously, being able to have the bar or the resources, so he always had a way around like the level 2. And it's not to say that his defense was like horrible with Akuma, but obviously his shining moments were from his offense and how he developed that Akuma with the demon flips. But now with this Ryu and the baits here and there, I see the vision with him switching over to Mr. Vanilla himself. So that means that we have 20-20. That means we get the extra game. Sahara comes up no matter what, and we have Banchan on the Akuma to start things off. It's been a long while since we've seen the Goki go up to bat. How do you feel about this?
I'm torn, honestly. I love the way he was improving with his Sagat lately. There's been a lot of hype around it. Even watching him play in the anchor match in the previous week, he took down Takagi 3-1. But understandably so, like, there's got to be like some sort of strategy to it to kind of like keep Sagat on the reserve for this week specifically, especially when it comes to a tiebreaker scenario. I don't even know if Banchan thought he was going to be coming up to play, but always prepared regardless. I think in terms of the matchup itself, right? I think Goki is going to be doing a great job. Akuma, excuse me, going to be doing a great job of staving off away from the middle ranges that Ed does have a good time with. Like, we talk about some of like the medium whips he does have, right? In that flicker sense. Medium kick is going to be a great way to kind of like space Akuma out and probably get a confirm. Sahara definitely want to kind of confirm off of those hits, those straight hits too. But I think this is fine more so for Akuma, but genuinely in terms of like damage output and the way that things can go haywire, I still think it's like 5-5.
Yeah, I think that the Ed players have developed it where I think certain playstyles definitely work even more so in this matchup now. Like, I feel like when we watch like Lashar, he's like really good in this matchup. I feel like also Sahara has been even better in this matchup, even though when Shuto and Sahara met in the previous match that they had, the previous I guess, first match that they had. Obviously, that was more in the favor of Shoot, though. But I feel like the Ed players have started to figure out how to deal with this in terms of, like, if they go for the aerial approach, they have to walk on their jabs and things like that, how to utilize their economy of buttons that force the Akuma players to think about how they thought their fireballs and their aerial approach and how to kind of go for, like, light demon flip to bait out DPs and things like that. So I feel they're pretty even as well on paper. But I understand not picking Sagat because I think Sagat players hate this matchup, and it feels like it's hard to get in continuously, at least right now. Sara does say, or excuse me, Bonchan says, Shuto was such a, and Shuto screaming in the back, I guess. He was doing fantastic, and I'll show you how fantastic I am as well. I like how Shuto is screaming during Bonchan's interview, like Bonchan's moment to talk about what's going on, and Shuto's like, let's go! You see my Ryu?
I mean, he deserves it. Like, he can say whatever he wants. Yeah. He's keeping the dream up for the team, so that's fine. They're looking to try to get another W over Good 8 squad, who have had a very substantial start going into the first half of the season. Despite their first week, right? I know they fell short to Crazy Raccoon, but since then they have skyrocketed, hence why they have 160 points to themselves. So if they manage to get another win against the highest threat team for this second half of the season, like, I'd be ecstatic too. I'd be rooting everybody's interviews.
Oh, yeah. Well deserved. Job's not done though. Sahara says, I really respect Bonchan, but I'll win today. I couldn't make myself ready for Ryu, and Gotch went for me. I won't let him down. So, like, I like that. He was like, I can't fight this matchup right now. Who knows what, you know, Shoot goes on right now. So I'll just wait for the extra match and take down Bonchan. Final match between the two teams. Who's going to walk away with the lion's share of the points? Will we see a Sagat switch up at all? Will it all be the Akuma? Either way, Bonchan Sara starting it off with the extra match. Let's get it. Big interruptions right now so far. Perfect parries a fire blast. One thing you got to do against this character, no matter who you are, Ed or any other of the cast, perfect parry is the way to play. You held parry for too long. Get tossed.
Damn, that was a lot of damage, and also a lot of drive gauge drained out from Bonchan. Oh. Damn, what a pickup! Oh, low forward on wake up from Bonchan though? Beautifully done.
I try to stagger a button. What do we try to do? I've seen a couple players do like crouch light punch, delay, crouching medium punch, so I wonder if that was like the stagger choice, but doesn't matter. Sara takes the first round, excuse me. Stand lock kicks the buffer, takes him towards the corner though. The walk back, watch it, not trying to get opened up. In fact, finds a forward pierce, catching the time with a crouching light kick, ends it with a heavy kick Tatsu to max out the damage.
What a confirm. Sahara's got 3 bars to himself. A single hit do it against Bonchan as well. Oh, and he baited it out, hook, line, and sinker too. One of the biggest things that Sahara does look out for is trying to stop that drive rush. And guess what? Akuma has a great plethora of tools to bait that out. Drive rush forward into the adamant fist.
It's gonna make all the other drive rushes even more ambiguous to deal with. You're so worried about that. Plus all the other options for Fierce and Fierce. Now the jab. Does catch the button recovery. Oh, he was still in recovery after that throw. Caught him with that low. Knocked out. Oh, that's a frame kill? Oh, you're nasty, Sahara.
Yeah.
No way that
No, it's not! Sahara just runs right into it. That was a punish counter. Bonchan to get a big risk, and boy, did that gamble pay off. Still in the corner, though. The back dash. Sahara with the proper read. His risk assessment and game sense out of this world. And the damage, not gonna be enough.
Last bar to his name. Only penny in his pocket, the DP to do it. Nothing you can do at that point. At spin it, looking for maybe a DI, just get some damage going and flowing, but Sahara with the movement, that back dash crouching light kick was everything. I like seeing players have really good movement and like spatial awareness to be like their buttons to where they need to be. We saw it with Sahara. No switch here for Bonchan. Kicking it with the Akuma. Makes sense to me.
I would agree with that as well. Sahara playing at a range that Bonchan is not going to be able to stop. I like that. The DP past the Demon Raid, drive rush forward, interruption from Bonchan, standing light kick, completely aware and ready for the offensive pursuit. Jesus Christ.
Walk up. And what's been any sort of drive rush right there. Use that beautiful walk speed the character has, but it's all about burnout now. Too far out for the punish of the Cobra Strike. I do like the idea. It's got level 1 just in case the DI does come. Dive kick instead. It's all about the offense now.
Level 2 incoming. If he gets this right, he does it. That could have been so much more damage. He definitely pressed the button. Bonchan, he's starting to make a read. That's the second time he's come up with that option. Wake up super, catching Sahara off guard.
I think Sahara went for like a meaty heavy right there. Just got blown up, unfortunate. Always having some bar in your pocket to back yourself up if you're in burnout or even on defense in general. Caught him whipping. Cancel. Cycle blitz. Empty low. Staggering the stand medium. Gets a counter combo right after. Really just a little bit of a hit into blitz. More touch. It's a crouching medium punch to do it. Sahara set point for dominant round right there. And on the verge of level 2. Stop drive rush. And I got that stand like it coming through. 5 frames with the quickness. Big old bunions.
With Adamant Flame. Continuing on with the roundhouse Tatsu. Medium kick for the frame kill. Forward throw. Drive rush on in there. Faking him out with a fake meaty. Bonchan, one more touch. He's backing away. No longer his turn. OD uppercut. I don't even think the kill rush backwards would have evaded it in time. Bonchan keeping it to a challenging set. 1-1.
Bonchan ready for the initiation points. So drive rush, he's got that stand light kick. He's putting the fireballs every so often to switch up and not going for the aerial approach that Sahara's so ready for. He might have to earn that a little bit more. And as I say that, the DP is there. The anti-air. Drive rush. Not going to work a second time. Sahara's ready with the blocks. Catches him with the low right after. Can't escape me. Nice and meaty with it.
Oh. So tough to call still. And the counter hit, being able to snipe it out. Sahara now looking at match point.
Always in the effective range that he needs to be at. He was an anti-air, able to counter poke, perfect parries, able to walk him down, give him over the fireball, not going to commit to an option. You already see the DPs continuously knock him outside the skies. Perfect parry, trying to go for the 4 fierce, +1, toss. Oh, teleport in to save the bar, and the bait is there. Spin 80 bar right after this, no DRC right there. Watch your turn, keep that up.
Don't step him out! That was a good call out, Sahara! Sniping out the Demon Raid, level 3, he's gonna dump it out now! Not quite burnt out just yet. Bonchan taking a deep exhale. He's got 3 bars to himself. 1 meaty string, Sahara could get the burnout, or at least the flicker. He does so successfully. Bonchan in dire straits. Sahara could play the flicker game infinitely if he needs to. No way!
Caught the fireball with the dive kick. Finds the timing, perfectly done. CA needs even more damage on the way. So on the lead, the drive rush throw is going to be able to do it. Not enough. The low double drivers to the crouching light kick. It's the final game, final round. That's how things go down for the very first set of the day. The run backs. Gotta be kidding.
Anyone's game right now. Let's hit the counter hit, Sahara. Drive rush on in, sorry. Kill rush on in. The big defensive decisions coming in from Bonchan is paying dividends. Just hanging on, getting out of the corner, nailing out big damage. Sahara sniping off the approaches on offense against Bonchan. Drive rush on in there. The parry attempt, it was a perfect one, just not the right call out within the direction.
Outside the corner possibly. Maybe mid-screen. It's so imperative to get those as picture perfect as possible. Ooh, caught him with the jump heavy kick. A little bit of damage right there with Sahara. gets the eye, and unfortunately went for the OD flicker. Double medium, touch right after. The fake outs are eating some damage, trying to retreat. That little bit of a fireball. On the virtual level 3, it could phase through like a super if he gets the bar up enough.
Oh, Sahara. Bonchan's trying to force Sahara to whiff. You can see his intentions with his walk. Sahara not going to be falling susceptible to it just yet. Also trying to bait out with Flicker. Kill rush backwards. Bonchan OD. Tick throw. Sahara, you got to make it count. You're in burnout. Forward throw. Immediate tech from Bonchan. Bring him back in. Drive reversal out. Bonchan. Slow fireball. Slow level 2. Cobra.
It's still there. No anti-air. The jump in is clean and pristine. Sahara had him locked down in the corner and finished the job. 2-1. The level 2 was everything to put him where he needed to be, and that's in the cemetery in the corner. The plot is over there. Sahara with the victory at the very end, at the very tip. Oh my God, what a match, Sahara. I don't know what is going on with these two players, but this cat is an absolute damn genius.
It's so smart too. You're considering all the options of that jump in that Sahara did at the very last second. It avoids a normal, it avoids OD uppercut, and also avoids wake up throw. Like, but it's also so risky if Bonchan decides to do nothing and walk forward, because Akuma does have that walk speed. I'd imagine Bonchan was thinking about like walking forward, trying to get like a cross cut at the very end of it, but to no avail, right? You didn't even see like a counter hit, nothing. I think it was just Bonchan not being ready for it.
Definitely agreed. I like the way Sahara played this matchup, being able to walk back and do crush like it being the effective range, perfect pair of the fireballs. We even mentioned the demon flips being a problem. He had a solution. Fake out with the spark, punish him right after, and this was super sick. Drive reversal, you're still caught up in the corner, the double dash up, and then the jump, making it kind of ambiguous. The double dash up, you might expect like a button, you might expect a throw or whatever it may be. So maybe, Bonchan was like, there's no way he'll go to the skies. That's exactly what happened. That sends him down to hell, and that is good 8 squad taking it. Their revenge, 30-20. However, was not as dominant as what happened previously, but they are taking the lion's share, and what a win. These were some good-ass matches. God dang.
Yeah, man. If you saw towards the end of it, Bonchan had actually pumped downwards. He went forward, down, and he was looking for the crosscut. He almost had it, too. He almost had that crosscut. But it wasn't... The thing is, like, I think he got caught at the very last part of the directional input and didn't press, like, the button in time, right? If he had pressed the button in time, he would have got it. That's rough. But even before then, putting himself in a situation where he drive reversals against the level 2, like, he wouldn't have run out of drive gauge prior, right? Like, he probably would have been, like, stuck in maybe, like, a negative situation where Sahara could frame trap or throw whatever, but still, like, you took so much extra damage from that level 2, man.
Kind of surprised to see, because I think he's one of the best defensive Akumas. Like, Daigo and them really take a lot of inspiration in terms of his defense and like his defensive decisions. I guess the scrambles maybe made him panic a little bit, or he's like, I'll take this and get him pushed back enough and I'm going to live a little bit where I can have one more interaction. But again, you would have been better off if you just kind of held back, taken it on block, and then dealt with what came afterwards. But regardless, Sahara survived the scramble, surviving and helping his team survive with 30 points to their name is fantastic. We are getting the winner interviews out here. Kumamoto says, it was a great match. Kosaku helped a lot. He's an Elena player, by the way. He also streams quite a bit. He's a really cool guy. He used to play in the Kali in 5. Not to be disrespectful, but he was really good. Next week, we can finally play C Viper. I like to do my best to play her. Word.
Hell yeah.
Kawano playing C Viper.
Character's good, man. She just happens to be gate kept by high execution, but I don't think she's got it, bro. That character's gonna be the hotness, in my opinion. So get ready for that. I think Division F, again, I mentioned it in the chat. I think Division F is gonna have free reign towards being able to utilize C Viper during their week. So we'll see how that goes. But man, what a set. As we conduct the rest of these winning interviews, I gotta say, man, it looked pretty grim for Crazy Raccoon. But Shuto, the only one to come up with a big W, and the most impactful one with the anchor match as well. With the Ryu pick, kind of cool to see.
It's so weird watching these players select a new character so deep into the season, whether it be like CPT or Street Fighter League. It's such a big risk to, even if the character's developed and you have like a blueprint to implement it against people who play the characters a lot more, is such a hard thing to do. And for some people, it's actually a horrible decision. But not for Shoot though. I really thought that when I saw his review, I was like, I don't know if this is ready for League. Like, I think it's good. Was it ready for League? It definitely was. I think he was ready for Gachikun. As he mentioned, he was like, I'm glad that Gachikun came up and it worked out for him. Pagura says, I was able to do the ideal Sagat against Kazunoko. We think the practice partners next week. We can finally play C Viper. There are a lot of players who want to play Viper. We'll see what happens. I mean, it might be half the dang cast out here playing this character. If we're being so honest, how many people have been like, man, I can't wait to play her, or putting like hours and hours, and they're like, I gotta get ready for League, so let me go back to my real character. So we'll see what happens. Might be seeing a lot of mirror matches next week.
Personally, I wouldn't mind that. I would love to see all of the C Viper mirror matches. I would be in heaven, honestly, because I'm loving the way that she's playing right now. I love to see how the Japanese players have developed this character. I've been watching a lot of just like NA representation, Japanese representation. I'd see like Mr. Crimson. I would stay up in the mornings, or like get up early mornings to watch Mr. Crimson play that character sometimes. If he's, as soon as Dawson comes on, I'm putting it on mute, no offense, but his C Viper is also something crazy. I've seen enough of his Dawson. Honestly, I love his Dawson. I love it to death. But I want him going back to his roots. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a very exciting time overall to see how everybody picks up Viper, whether or not they pick up Viper and play them at Street Fighter League.
I mean, again, hard to pick up a character, but once again, they have to have that knowledge to fight the character too as well. So there are pluses and minuses, and some people have been putting in a ton of time with that character, so could be seeing some victories with her. Gachikun says, I unfortunately lost, but the team was really great today. I really thank you. Shuto Kuwano are really the practice kings. They had all the things ready for me. Next week, we can finally play C Viper, and I was playing C Viper on Street Fighter 4, so maybe I'll have the honor of playing her. Is the whole team just going to play C Viper? Yo, this is going to be all C Viper all the way down when they show up and the character select. That would be super sick. And again, I'm with you. I want to see it. Like, actually watching the mirror matches, sometimes I'm like, mirror matches can be kind of whatever. Watching that character, like, play against herself is still pretty fun. Maybe it's the new name. Maybe it's that, but I'm with you. I wouldn't mind that at all.
ということで、最後リーダーガチ君より次節の意気込み、次節ね、CAG 戦アウェイというところですけれども、意気込み最後によろしくお願いします。
はい、僕ら多分、ちょっと見えてしまった。
We are getting the rest of our. Damn, Sahara, put him on mute. Sahara walked out of the frame. He's like, screw this. You don't want to do a group interview? I'm muting your ass, bro. That was pretty good.
そうですね。
はい、アウェー戦を踏まえた戦い方とかをちゃんとしていきたいなというふうに思いますので、後半ね、これは1位通過できるように頑張ります。
Yeah, what's next on the schedule for them, actually? Let me take a look. So, Good 8 Squad starting things off on the home side, getting that W, pretty impactful. Retaining their position currently in first place. They do have 170 points to their name now, as we get the rest of the interview. But let me take a look at the overall regulation season. All right, perfect. Week number 7, they're going to be on the away side. They have to face off against CAG Osaka.
I feel like there's some cats on there that might want to play C Viper as well. I mean, Sara himself, he said, you know, I was really happy I was able to win. I was really going to go for the anchor, but I was horrible. Wasn't ready for that. But he thanked Gachikun for playing the anchor. Next week is when people can play C Viper, as he mentions, but he'd like to stick to Ed. So if we're going to see an all C Viper team, it won't be them, but probably be the majority, I imagine. Gachikun says we have one more away side the second half, so we'd like to win an away side. So again, we're gonna have to see how many people pick up that C Viper. If it's gonna be 3-4 players, or if they're just kind of trolling us. If they're just kind of like, yeah, we're gonna play C Viper, guys. And then they pick their main character.
おそらく今後ランクマッチで増えてくると思うので、しっかりとガードしたいと思います。
あれを見た竜使いがぐるっとする可能性もある
回ってるなと思って終わりで。
I'm kind of curious to see like how that really plays out in regards to like how many Sea Vipers come out the woodwork specifically for Division S. I know it's like scary to use like a new character this early on in something like Street Fighter League, but there's been a decent amount of practice so far. A lot of the players that are involved in Street Fighter League right now have already hit like legend status with this character, or at least Ultimate Master. So I'm hopeful, to be honest with you. Very, very hopeful to see it either way. I'm also hopeful about all the sponsors that have been coming through and providing a lot of support for not only Street Fighter League, but also esports in general in the land of Japan. Galeria also one of those sponsors. I've seen this machine firsthand. I've experienced it. I've witnessed the power and was able to stream on it and also play games at the same time. These guys have been doing a great job of providing efficient and effective setups throughout the entirety of so many different organizations. And if you're in Japan, you happen to be involved in any of those esports activities, be sure to check it out. Galeria is doing a wonderful job these last couple of years being a prime sponsor of Street Fighter League Japan.
There's a brand out there that can really just hold it down for the games that we play, and just they're gonna get that quality when you pull up with them. Same redesign PWS controller right here. This is so sick. Hey, can I do a lever list myself. I would mind testing this one out. I like the design right there, and I like how they have the 3 buttons underneath. I'd probably just use one for jumping. Actually, there's a lot of ways you can do this. I'm just trying to think of the ways I would jump with this. I would use the directional stuff. But either way, there's many ways that I'm assuming to customize and utilize that. And there are customized ones per player. Looks like Shuto and Gachikun have their own. That's how you know they're real deal out here. To have their own Punk Workshop controllers right there. Those designs are super sick. Look at the Gachikun one. That is such a cool piece of artwork right there. So if you can pick those up, I actually want to know how to pick those up myself, because I probably get the Shoot the one. I like the Shoot the one. I like the design with the fiery eye right there. Very anime, very like final boss anime type beat. But that concludes our first match, people. Our second match is going to be a pretty ridiculous one considering what's on the line. CAG Osaka, they're going NTPOJA. CAG Osaka makes as many points as possible. They're sitting, waiting in the rungs of things, and Nagoya wants to get back to the dominant era that they were only just recently in. They think this is going to be a barn burner, a banger, so you do not want to miss what's about to occur. Get some stacks, come right back. When we return, more Street Fighter League Japan coming right at you.
再開は約8分頃の20時16分こちらを予定しております。それでは一旦失礼いたします。
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
さあ、やりましょうか。いい？これでおやすみなさい。え？そうね。さてと、さっさと片付けましょう。
United Kingdom.
人使いも荒いわ。
Here comes a new challenger. Viper wins.
パーフェクトプレーだ。
我ながら様子を見ながら
OD 波動でもおそらくもう
うまい。
差をつくと無理する必要はない。
そうです。
いや、歩きのやつあるな。
ちょっとマチャボーさん的には
うわ、うまいせ。
えらい
使っていく。
SA さんえらい。
承知だが下がってからの中足。
うまい。うまい。
素晴らしいですね。
あげ。さあここは龍。
ナイスナイス。
ここでマチャボーさんはダメージを
いい話。
リーゲージをどんどん削って
大パンで迎えました。
走ったの偉いっすね。
あるか。ゲージはしっかりと。
先方は川野クラシックでルークです。
ああ、やっぱルーク来ましたか。当たったらもう致命傷ですね。
うわ、でかっ。うまい。確認うまい。
はい。画面端を取っているのは川野のルーク。
うわマジか。
打ち上げてサムラライジング。
はい、いいね。
そのあたりのケアを
で、ナイス確認。
確認してる。これは確認している。
そうですね。
画面端中盤埋まっているぞ。さあ力士ドライバースからバーンとしたの川野まだ足りないぞ。
ちょっとあります。
うわ
川野さん、
はい。
ルークが刺さったと。
火を吹いたね。
いや、でも組み合わせ予想でナローさんが俺のルーク予想してて。
で川野くんのここルーク行くんじゃないかなって僕は思ってまして。
おめえまだ言うなよって思ってました。
まだ言うなって。いや仕事なんで僕もすいません。
Coming back into the next round of matches is going to be CAG Osaka versus Nagoya NTPOJA. Starting things off with the away side. The boy becomes a man. What a title. Takagi, one of the main rookies coming into this season. One of the bigger highlights too. Followed by Uryo, the eternal ace. With a little bit of a character crisis in my opinion. Who knows if he'll pull out the Jamie for this week. Followed by the unlimited dragon dance. It's Eita, who has been streaming a lot lately, actually. Been doing a lot of this practice and grinding for this character in some of these matches as well. All led by the captain, the reticent perfectionist. I happen to Google it, and I still don't get it. It's Victrix, who's coming in swinging for CAG Osaka. They may not have had the best first half, but something tells me that they're looking a little bit cleaner this second half and might get this W. Who knows?
Last time they did get the W against NTPOJA, but Nagoya NTPOJA has been on an uptrend as of late. They like to return to that top spot so they can be well solidified for the playoffs. And this is a team that I did not expect to blow up as they have. But boy, have they done so. Let's take a close look. Nagoya NTPOJA. Let's begin. NTPOJA with the Daredevil bounty hunter, another guilty what he does out here in these streets. It's Mochi on the Akuma, taking all that experience from a different game to champion it out here in Street Fighter 6. The talent from Toyama is Otani, firing with that cannon. Maybe with the Terry, we'll have to see if he switches things up. Right after that, Kung Fu fanatic himself, Seiya, was a hit confirmed god with a Chun-Li. And at the helm, it's going to be the Hammer of Justice himself, KB, and that B, he's standing for business. That man has been nothing short of incredible out here. One of the most top point earners, if not tied with Lashar, leading this pack of an incredible squad of players with an incredible light of players and characters. It's a really good unit that we have seen be better than previous years.
Perhaps, but the question remains, right? Is it going to be enough for what's happening this week? CAG Osaka had quite the banger against this team. Looking at it right now from week number 1, CAG Osaka had a very clutch match with Takagi in his debut in the anchor spot. They're looking to have a very similar lineup, putting Takagi at least on the bench, just like the first week. However, Uryo is coming up first with the Jamie. I love seeing that. Eita again in the middle spot with Akuma. Victrix with the Blanca, not the JP, and also in the anchor spot. Your thoughts, Senkola?
I was talking to production about this. I feel like KB has to go up against Victrix. Usually, people don't want to run the run back at all, but KB has been so dominant. Him in a first of 3 in an anchor position, him understanding the matchups and just in totality, I would put KB up there first. But there's no way. They're putting him up first? I thought he was going to be an anchor. Oh, okay. My mistake. Leave it to the rest of the squad to do the things that they need to do a little bit later on, but I expected something different. That's kind of wily. Huh.
That is a little awkward, I think. KB is, I feel like, one of the sole reasons why Nagoya NTPOJA has been doing such a good job, right? Like, these last 3 weeks, maybe even 4. Yeah, 4, let me see. And then NTPOJA, KB. Yeah, KB hasn't lost a single set so far with this Mai. But it's also not the first time we've seen him kind of go up in the first spot, right? Week 1 and week 3, he started things off with a W. In week 4, he did the same against Sahara, of all players, by the way. Yeah, so he's been kind of like flexing back and forth between like first up and anchor.
Kind of wild. I think when it comes to this team, I thought he would just take down Victrix and be that anchor, just in case things went bad or they need like a 40 bomb or 30 points to their name, whatever it may be. I thought KB would try to finish things off or at least allow them to advance. But, you know, his team definitely has had some great moments, even outside of him, that I think he's willing to let them shine in those other positions if need be. And I think maybe it's a matter of Jamie being one of those characters that if you don't know how to fight, it's going to be even worse for you. But you can say that for Blanca, though. You can say that for Tagaki and the way that Finbridge plays. Like, that's also, man, it's just a weird choice. But I guess Jamie is like a pain point for them in terms of understanding the matchup. And KB's a big lab rat. You know, we've seen how he's able to deal with like Sagat, have these weird punishes that work out that many people don't know. And if we're thinking about a player that understands how to play Mai, even if Mai goes down from top 1 to top 5 or whatever, I think KB will still play her because he is a real Mai guy. He has intricacies with the character, uses drive rush to go underneath the things instead of DPing. When he can't, he really understands the nuances of how to play her and just throwing out fans over every so often. Uriel says, I think everyone is waiting for C Viper, but I'll use Jamie as well. We couldn't read the opponent with Jamie, so I did all the practice. So if you've watched his stream, he has been streaming like hours upon hours of C Viper. I think like he was the top 3 streamers that I was watching when she just dropped, and he was going crazy. So you have to wait until next week to play her. The Jamie, I'm assured it's still gonna be strong, but this cannot be that much fun for Jamie to have to fight. Have you played a Mai as Jamie at any point?
For fun, yes. But have I watched any of the matches at high level? Absolutely not, right? The most I would get is studying like CFN, but it doesn't give me the full picture against the way KB's playing, right? There are a few restrictions that Jamie has against the Mai. Again, one of the most obvious ones is being gate kept by the drink factor, right? Not being able to buck high through fans is a pretty big deal. Not being able to dive kick to punish fans is also another big deal, right? But you think about like the give and take of the situation. Mai has to be a certain distance away to really throw out the fans and in order for it to be a threat. Jamie can kind of like take that time to at least get a sip, but the takeaway is like the downside of that is the space you give her can lead to a mix-up, even if you get a single drink, right? It leads to a mix-up. That single opener could lead to corner carry as well. It could all be downhill. Just this single hit alone could spell everything for KB within distance for a throw. Udio actually mashing, crouching jab upon wake up. KB wasn't ready for it. So this positioning right here is so much for KB.
I agree. Now, when I watch like Knuckle play this matchup, those are fireballs obviously to stop the drinks from happening in the neutral, to lock the character down as well, make it harder for him to counter poke, especially when he doesn't have the Bakai. Drive rush throw, gonna take care of that tap parry attempt, extra damage, dash up, counter hit, DP, have the level, or the super right after level 1, excuse me. It's a one-touch scenario either way. Any way you like it, a dab, a jab, anything, a fan.
Even off the trade. And it's so hard to contest against the ranges that Mai can play at, right? Standing medium punch being cancelable, fears to be a little bit snappy to whiff punish some of the medium kick attempts from Udio. It's just very difficult, right? Now, he's already stuck in the corner, right? That OD fan to start off just makes it so detrimental towards Jamie's overall game plan, trying to score that drink, trying to score that opening. KB, he definitely knows it too, laying it on him, does get the forward throw off the mix of the OD fans. So difficult, right?
Able to block things out with the drive rush stand fears. Interruption. Once again, he's been so ready for these sort of advancements from happening. Kagero no Mai pops that. Now you're up in the corner again. Beautiful counter poke. Things are about to get real wicked for you up in the corner. Able to at least get one stock of drinks right there. That does mean we have a dive kick. It's an extended fireball. If he can find the jump timing, find the spacing. Does find the counter right there. Another sip of the sauce. Off the Rekkas.
Oh, that was plus?
All low enough. Get the buttons. Ooh. Get the toes.
No, he gets up the corner. Oh, that's gonna be it, right? Dash up, throw again. Oh, and you know what? Udio thought the same thing. No, he pressed the button. KB. Oh, I thought I heard a button. I swear to God, I heard a button. I thought I heard Mai's voice line. I thought I heard one of the voice pipes come in. It could have been like a normal before landing so that it doesn't like fully animate and the noise comes out. But either way, that was mad close. Udio really trying to steal turns.
Makes sense, man. It's hard to advance on someone like KB, not even just mine. It was stock up nice and early. Now they spend so much health as a resource to get the drinks off. Oh, that's too close for comfort. Crouching into punch is an easy punish right there. He's gonna go for a swing. Has it up in the corner, so Oki not so necessary. Space trap with a stand medium kick. Damaging record right there. No cross cut DP. It's kind of hard to hit the arrow at the proper distance.
No uppercut. Probably in fear of the dive hit. Understandable. So smart from KB. Actually, the counter hit. Benefiting Urio. KB actually tried to go for a throw. Out of there. The chase down as well. Was that punish counter? I didn't see punish counter on my screen.
I thought it was counter hit. Maybe not.
Overhead!
Oh,
You're hella dead as well. Level 2 incoming. Ryu and Boo. Give me the level 2. More than enough damage. KB with a flick of the wrist at the end. Match point for the man who's been undefeated thus far for his team, Nagoya NTPOJA. I like the way that they start. Punish. Incoming. Going for the sip. Free flow kicks.
For sip, he has to start things off. The fan is taking a turn back. The DI because he was close up to the corner. Great realization. Sweep, swing. Pour up, drink. Wrestle buttons. No counter combo though. We're going to stop him from trying to drive rush on out. Again, 3. Now he's got the command grab. I'm going to sneak that in. Even use the idea would be great. Poking with the medium kicks. The anti-air medium. Predictive with it. He gets a combo follow-up. Oh, I'd be so mad if I was Urio.
Oh, uppercut. Oh, you could have followed through. Great block of the overhead. Forward throw. Does get the swig. Level 4. He's lit. Out of there is KB.
Sweeping the distance.
This actually gives KB a pretty big opportunity. But it doesn't happen. I was going to say, if KB manages to land a single strike, drive rush into it, he would get so much damage. So he would have built up level 3.
Oh, true. Try to take back the turn. The air airs right there. Sips the sauce. Oh, the dot kick. Catching that crouching or stand medium, excuse me. Knowing that's been a big stopping point button for him. Back to the lab again. Drive rush, crouch, fierce, palm. Okay. Go for the swing route. Another one. 4. Baits off the only DP. He thought it was going to be a button. No go, Bozo. It's Urio with a perfect KO. I feel like Urio definitely feels the type of way. He saw the flick of the wrist. Maybe he didn't. But still, he felt the energy. Had to even it out.
Damn. Absolutely wild. Forcing the timeout from the side of Nagoya NTPOJA. Urio coming in with the perfect. That was actually kind of sick. I'm telling you, man.
You've not seen dominance.
This character, I want this character to have like something else going for him with the drinks. I know it's genuinely speaking, people think I'm trolling, or like people also would agree with it, but at the same time, I understand like that would be too much power to have Jamie start off with like a level 1. You know what I'm saying? Like having access to like certain tools so early.
Yeah, I don't know what you would give him to make him maybe more consistent, because he's so on the verge of like 1 or 2 touches away from being ridiculous, but he is so sick to see. And it's great to see like character loyalists actually like get the work done, especially against like Submire, the more impressive top tiers out here. But man, Jamie is so cool. Like he is such a cool character. The routings that he has, level 3, the strategies in terms of like setting up for the drinks, where like, you know, I'm gonna go into Oki for this, or maybe I'll just take my drink here. Different strategies that certain players have over in the US, like Azan, how different he is from Urio and vice versa. Honestly, I can see more Jamie players just in general, but I would like to see a little bit more given to the character, as long as it doesn't push him over the edge. Regardless, this current Jamie is putting in work against somebody who has been putting work on everybody else, who's been the boss man out here, who has been undisputed, undefeatable, and is now drawing blood, more than blood right now.
Man, this is the first time KB's kind of been a little stumped. It's kind of wild to see that it's within this matchup itself, right? Something not too common. We see a handful of different Mai's in Division S. We've seen Mai's on so many different levels, whether it's in NA, whether it's in EU, definitely in Japan. But Jamie? pretty rare. Diamond in the rough.
いやでもよくウリョ選手もバイパー付けだったんですけど
Even a Jamie player that's like good, you know, like a high level Jamie player that's actually doing like work in tournaments and stuff like that, very, very rare. But when you see him work, it is a thing of beauty. And like I like how he's utilizing like only dive kick against stay medium, which was stuffing him continuously. That was a big buffer that KB would do to kind of start his oppression approach. He's taking care of the moments that are given to him, the minus frames that are happening off the flame spins and things like that. So he's doing a great job of getting the drinks where he needs to get them, especially now. It's the final game. I wonder what KB was told, but whatever it was, it better be something significant because this might be his first loss. Ball finds the jabs, gets a sip of the sauce. Great start here from Oreo. They poke for poke. Hard to do so. The lead see overhead off the table with the DP. Oof.
Big medium coming in. Yeah, just wasting the rest of the fireballs. I could see that. Supplying that pressure with that install. Free flow. Currently at level 3. So dangerous!
Oof. The way he's able to
command grab up to the drive rush.
Command grab as well. Oh,
Trying
no.
to press a button in between. It's tough too. Like you see a stand jab, you would think it's your turn automatically, but if you had mistimed it, that low medium, being able to clip like that, it's just kind of rough. Like you're trying to follow the rules of the game, but sometimes you're just a little bit too late.
Yeah. Timing got to be there as well, as you mentioned. KB on set point though. Lead palm, sweep to catch the walk back, takes a swig. Watch it not go for the dive kick. Get some okay off this. Only DP. Swigs again. A lot of commitment to getting the sip of sauces to get that damage up. More access to the tools. Makes sense to me. Level 3 on the verge for KB. White tire. Target combo.
It's tough to call right now for Audio. Oh, that's huge! Calling out the medium. No CA. He tried to green it. He went for the command grab. KB was absolutely ready for it. Udio, if he landed that command grab, it obviously would have been over. KB knew it. He understood what route to lethal Udio would take and was 2 steps ahead.
I feel like having a grapple option for a non-grappler is like too much power. Like, you know, you want to finish with that. You know the reward is there, but to sneak it in gets even more difficult if you're not like a grappler enthusiast, as it were. And KB, as you mentioned, read that perfectly, and then he had the good dominance up in the neutral. In general, he stopped playing so many stand mediums, and he was able to counter poke on some missteps that happened for Oreo. But it wasn't that far off that Oreo was able to take it. I definitely saw a few mistakes here and there that were more player-based than character-based. We can still give Jamie a little bit of love here and there. However, KB retains his title as, along with Lashard, no, I think it's just him, who has the top amount of points overall, and now still has not lost a single game. So, shouts out to KB. You know, him coming up was a good idea, it looks like. Now it's Ada that steps up for his team with Akuma. Who do you set up against him?
Ooh, for Nagoya, NTPOJA, let me take a look at my spreadsheet. I actually like Mochi in the mirror match, funny enough. I don't know about Chun-Li there. I don't know about Ken there. It has to be Mochi, right?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like once he
it's
really...
old Tani with Ken.
His word. You know, I was agreeing with you because I feel like Mochi showcased his expertise in dealing with the mirror match with Shuto. If you could dismantle Shuto, you could damn sure dismantle Eita. Not saying Eita is like a way weaker player or whatever, but if you can dismantle someone as aggressively effective as Shuto, you could do the same with Eita. I'm surprised not to see Mochi go up, and maybe that's going to be him in the anchor position or extra. We'll have to see. But Otani on the Ken, see what he has, if he has what it takes. I feel like Akuma matches well with Ken. You know, the fireballs are pain point for Ken. The lacking drive gauge deletion is not as good for Ken these days up in the corner. He's still very much powerful. He's still the weakest showed up, but that means, again, he's a millionaire out here. But I think Akuma still does very well. You know, that crash kick can definitely outpace what Ken wants to do. The forward fierce and stand fierce as well. I think it's slightly in favor of Akuma players. And Eita is just so strong right now. So I'm surprised to see Otani come up. But maybe he's got something for us.
Who knows, man? I just hope that the choice for Otani, or the choice of putting up Otani, is not one Nagoya NTPOJA would regret, because I feel like he's been in a very interesting position career-wise, right? He hasn't had the necessarily like great standings. He hasn't been able to travel as much, and looking at his CFN, like the practice he gets, it's not like as succinct as I would like it to be in comparison to like what we're used to on an international scale, right? Like it's tough to call.
Versus someone like Eita, who has been traveling at least a little bit more in terms of like we saw him at CEO, he's fighting Mago. You know, he's around for many other games too as well, but he's definitely getting practice in for Street Fighter. You're fighting somebody that's kind of been at home, not practicing as much or having as many different styles. Like, especially at CEO, he, or even at Combo Breaker, was able to play a variety of Ken players that were still carrying the character. And even Eita says, honestly, it was a surprise that Otani was coming up. I was thinking of interviewing him with other players, so I'm puzzled. So even he is kind of weirded out at him showing up to fight it out. But if you're Otani, part of the name of the game has to be, you better be picture perfect with your perfect parries. You better be able to perfect parry, drive rush jab, and you're in the proper distance. That is the Tokido way. That's the usual way of a lot of Ken players to get through the fireballs that kind of prevent you from throwing out your normals, and then kind of ride it from there. But again, I'm with you. Otani really hasn't had the practice online or offline to, on paper, stack up to what Eita has had to deal with.
そうですね。むしろどんだけコメントをしようかっていう。最近嬉しかったこと。子供がついに初音。
So Otani did talk about like the practice today, or like the practice recently, right? He was able to practice that out with Mochi, so the confidence is there. And we talked about like putting up Mochi for the mirror match, and it's like understandable to like see that. So this perspective of having Otani versus Mochi, I could definitely get behind that, right?
Okay.
強みですよね。そこら辺は。
I guess that makes sense. And Mochi's such a good player, giving you like a different look or an ideation about a character, as we've seen already with him versus Shuto, that I can see that he got the practice there, but Eita's just a different beast, bro. Since Street Fighter 4, even now, even the switch up that he's had recently in terms of pulling back with DP for the aggression, yeah, you have to have that perfect parry. Caught him with the counter hit, goes for the Dragon Lash, gets the run DP. This is how we begin Otani on it. Oh, parry.
Ooh, big punish! Damn, that
right
caught a
there.
heavy punch from Eita. I didn't even know what he was trying to snipe out.
All right, burnout now. Otani's have to worry about that level 1, the DI, no splats, a lockout. There's the second one to get it done. At that point, you lost that much health. You're not going to run any bar at the bottom. You'll wait for the next round. Otani with an aggressive start, and as we mentioned, perfect parry the fireballs, get that drive rush jab to get in. He's got a long range distance on that. Try to go in there raw. Jab was there to meet him though. At the Thor.
Oh boy.
Based on the OEDP, thought it was gonna be a button. Got him.
Look at the damage, just the explosion coming in. Big risk to take from Otani. The perfect parry, and it was the counter, by the way. Eita tried to stuff out the drive rush, not in time. I don't even think he had a chance to do anything else, really.
Yeah, we don't have that range. Okay, more buttons now. And plasma. Parry again! Oh my god, that's the name of the game. But the reward is not a lot. It's a corner carry, but the wake-ups Eita's decisions have been so far pretty damn good. Trying to get the overhead, the OD fireball, stuffs that out. You'll take that trade even with 9k health.
Yeah, he has so much of a life lead regardless, right? But still, both at 3 bars, it can be very explosive, I think, off the rip. Depends on who's gonna land that first hit, right? I wouldn't mind dumping out the meter now from either character because of the opportunities you would get afterwards.
100%.
Forward throw.
If you are can. As you mentioned, level 3 immediately. Get quite a bit of bar back. You have him up in the corner, which is great for Akuma. More extensions on the combos, more damage, reversal jab. What's then a counter hit? Tiny not following up with anything else.
Oh my. That's totally fine, right? Being able to go tit for tat with a life bar, get some of that drive gauge exchange. But is it enough? Eita still has a slight life lead. No Oki on top of that. Otani trying to move on in with the drive rush. A little hezzy. Eita ready for it with the crouch jab. That was a counter hit, by the way.
What a low. We'll finish this with the level 1. That was the perfect thing, as you just mentioned. The fact that they spit the bar, but Eita spin it first, so we got a level 1 a lot faster. Had that bar dumping at the very end to get the win. That allowed him to succeed. And so like early dumping of the bar might be pivotal to get just a little bit more extra damage at the very end right there. Eita calculating perfectly. And honestly, we've seen him do really good on defense. He hasn't really been caught lacking on like an OEP bust out, a few mistakes here and there. He's riding the offense.
Yeah, I mean, like active defense too, right? He's checked the drive gauge or checked the drive rush multiple times over with a couple of hits. 3 times in a row, by the way. Sankola, low medium kick to start off with, fireball to stop Otani, low medium kick again. Otani has just been so adamant about throwing in these drive rushes, and it's killing him. It is absolutely killing him. He is throwing the rounds away because he's trying to initiate with something that's hard to come by, like hard to even start with. Like Akuma does such a fantastic job of being able to check a lot of these drive rushes and different avenues of drive rushes, or like different avenues of normals, I should say. It's so tough. Otani, he's trying to steal games.
As he tries to pull back a little bit, that's when Eita gets aggressive. 8-frame crouch medium kick, ends with a heavy kick, Tatsu. Up in the corner of that bar, the bomb is building up. Delay, crouching medium punch, but right on time. OD fireball, you have a DP level 3 after this? No, just straight into it, excuse me. Different way to stay off the Eita with a dumping of damage. Sipping a huge calamity. Otani could not find a way in. As you mentioned, just drive rushing in raw, it's not gonna work. Eita's got the fast fireballs, the heavy one. He's got the crouching medium kick. He's got the jabs. He's got everything. If it's not a perfect parry against a fireball, you are not getting in. You're just not.
Dude,
the pop-up.
That's sick. I'm gonna do that from now on. So sick. This guy is so sick. He's got so much aura, bro. He's got so much aura. I love Eita, dude.
Yo, chill, Eita. Yo, chill. Take the camera off and get back to the game, man. I'm sorry to interrupt your point. Go on, brother. Oh.
No, that wasn't you. That was Eita. Listen, man. Otani is playing a meta of like a year and a half ago. He is trying to utilize drive rush in places where he's not even allowed to. There's too much space between the character for Eita to react. Akuma's got a really solid fireball to stop him regardless in neutral. It's been mad linear from Otani, and I'm not a fan of it. I mean, he hasn't had the best season this year. He hasn't had like the kind of results that we were expecting. Like if you're a Ken player, you got to step it up, right? Like that character's been played out for a while. Not to say he's not good, but he's been thoroughly labbed up against, right? You have to deliver something different. Otani just playing in the past meta is just not gonna be cutting it for Nagoya NTPOJA.
Yeah, you have to switch things up. Let's switch it up to the anchor match, last match between these two teams, excuse me. Seiya coming up. I guess it makes sense Mochi. I mean, even though Mochi I think would be a better pick on paper, I think Akuma does very well against Blanca. Besides like having to throw out bad fireballs. Otherwise, I think he's good. I think Seiya, as a player in terms of playing Street Fighter, has had more experience. Not saying that Mochi couldn't do it, but I think in terms of who I would trust between the two, I'd probably put up Seiya slightly more. I'm not sure of how the matchup goes in full between Blanca and Chun-Li. Just looking at it on paper, you can slide her fireballs. I can imagine her normals are probably a pain in the butt to deal with because crouching medium punch, we're punishable. Crouching fierce is a good button, but it's still punishable as well. I would imagine aerial approach is going to get stopped and stuffed by Blanca. I mean, he has back medium kick, heavy kick, and her floaty jump means that she can't approach from the air. A lot of different variables right now. And Finrich, we hasn't had the best season so far. Like he wants that revenge. And if things do go bad, he does have the JP, so that could be a switch up that he does to fight the Chun-Li.
We'll get to that point in just a bit. Fenrich coming in with his interview. Yeah, this is... leader.
さあ対し
Yeah,
まして
Takagi already pumping up his
NTPOJA
his coach, or sorry, his leader. Chun-Li versus Blanca. Honestly, I think Blanca does have like enough active frames to kind of counter a lot of the pokes that Chun-Li is trying to utilize. I think it's just tougher for Chun-Li, perhaps, to really set the pace. Like her limbs are great, fireball's okay. Can't throw it out for free because Blanca can react slide under it. It's not like the fastest fireball, right? But this is more of like a keep away type of style that Chun-Li needs to play to at least try to succeed. But I don't know. I think Blanca does a pretty solid job of being able to keep the pace against Chun-Li. But hard to tell. Hard to tell between like the way Seiya's been playing and the way Fenris is playing.
Yeah, they're both kind of. I would say Fenris is a little bit more different than like other Blanca players. You know, I remember him developing like that level 2 style of like I'll burn myself out, but as long as I have level 2, I'll get my bar back, I'll put you up in the corner, and I'll mix you from there. And he said that he was expecting KB, but he's ready for Seiya regardless. So he, like us, was also expecting KB to come up, run that anchor match, and kind of win it from there. So once again, it goes back to the point: was setting up KB at the front a good idea? If Seiya doesn't win, it's a lot of pressure on him. This is an unfortunate tossing of points. Almost feels like they're tossing points away, in my opinion, to not set up someone like KB in anchor position. So that puts even more weight on your guy right here, Brenda Chun-Li. But Seiya says, it's my first time as anchor, so I'll win and get the 20 points. I'll go to sleep smiling. All right.
We'll see how it plays out, right? I would have loved to see Takagi play a little bit more too. Imagine if like Takagi played as like the opener too instead of Udio against Mai's KB or KB's Mai. I said Mai's KB because everybody's been playing Mai anyway. But anyways, let's talk about the pacing, all right? Like we talked about some of the stab normals that Seiya does have, like forward and backwards medium punch is also a really potent to kind of keep Blanca away, as you see it right here. But once you get that knockdown, it's different, right? The whole pace is set to a different standard when Blanca is pretty much on you. But a really good rebuttal so far from Seiya, and resetting to this position, right? Just around heavy punch. You tried to throw out the doll just raw? That walk speed plus the range on Chun-Li, of course she's gonna punish. No way. That goes over it. Yep. Big bait. Yeah, using that forward heavy kick does keep you airborne, so that was actually really, really smart. Fenrich getting blown up.
Super sick stuff so far.
Oh yeah. Damn! Obliteration, by the way. My fault, Seiya, hold up.
Yeah, I was with you. I was like, hey man, Seiya coming up. He hasn't had the best results recently. He has a lot of weight on his shoulders right now, but he wants to go to sleep smiling, grinning, get that 8 hours in, you know, feel refreshed. But the quickness, and I think part of that's like, you know, the burnout style that Fenris wants to play is not really working out. Like you put yourself close to burnout, you're wasting a lot of bar, you're trying to get the activation started, or you're trying to get these things every so often, as you mentioned, trying to throw out the doll out in the neutral. But Seiya's not gonna let that happen. With the walk speed, the way they can play the character, kind of control in general and neutral, Seiya's making sure that none of that goofy stuff is happening. So I personally think if Fenris wants to play disrespectful, I feel like it might be better for him to just kind of switch over to JP at this point. If you want to be able to go band to band with the normals, if you want to put out like the departure kind of corral, and then kind of run the disrespectful gameplay that you want to run, I think that JP got to come back. But I don't know how much time he's invested in the past couple of weeks to months of that character. Oh, you think just the Blanca?
I think the Blanca would be fine. He just had a little bit of mishaps, understanding like what needs to be done. I think it's also sick that that piece of tech that Seiya showed off to be a little bit invulnerable to like reversals, like at least level 1. Fenris has got to I guess got to reconsider what his reversal options are going to be like with OD instead, right? OD up ball would be able to kind of like it would kind of be like the bust out tool majority of the time, because if you look at level 1, although it hits like both sides of Blanca, the hitbox is actually on the ground. So Chun-Li using forward heavy kick to be airborne by like the 8th frame or whatever is what kind of avoids that, pretty much that nuance. But it doesn't necessarily avoid or keep her safe from any like OD option, right? You do have some time to kind of possibly try to react on it because what is it? I think I don't know what it is on startup off the top of my head, but it's definitely double digits. If I look on the website, yeah, so it's actually 16 whole frames to to anticipate. And also they're drive rushing forward also, so it's.
Yeah.
I think it's a slight adjustment that needs to be made from Fenrich, at least in regarding to like what options he needs to use with his drive gauge.
100% agree. Like that style of close-up burnout and getting into burnout cannot work out against Seiya. Sit back, medium kick, yeah, get more reward. Gonna DRC, get some reward. ODDP for the bust out here from Seiya. Rush fears, back those switch positions. Keeping that charge and also having the swift thrust as well. Can't just drive rush in
there.
You
see the space that he's playing at? Yeah, Fenrich going for the slide as well. It really suppresses Seiya from like really trying to throw out normals that whiff. Throw out fireball as well. So Fenrich playing at a really nice distance. Although a little bit closer, you see Seiya willing to throw out that fireball. Does get to confirm off of the forward medium punch. There was a reversal from the side of Fenrich, by the way. I don't know what got hit.
Other options, but once again, that forward head kick could be coming through. But now we might see like a bait or like a block at the very least from Fenrich. To confirm against the heavy. Yo, that was a counter I predicted. So I think it's gonna come out right about now. Seiya gave it a round up. Whip punish. Crouching medium punch not even doing any work. Maybe kick that take him towards the corner with some Naoki. Interrupts the OD.
Oh, you could have got a follow-up. A little bit too late. Seiya's in full control right now. Up until this point, Lightning Beast. We do get the knockdown. We don't get Little Fella just yet. What a block, Seiya.
Incredible defense for the trade. Good up for Fenrich. Lift off, ball. Icicles with a meaty back medium kick. Chan, quick kill. Low punch, crouch medium punch. After a slight little delay on that one.
That was kind of tough. Oh, the punish too against the stab normal. Yeah, Fenrich all over it. Spending the drive gauge rather early as well. One more sequence could go into Lightning Beast if need be. He's chilling though. Let's go to the corner willingly. It's fine.
On the activation way off the heavy kick, avoids that, and now he's gonna take the rest of that drive gauge away, much as he can, with the Sultan. Early expenditure, not too bad here for Seiya. Burnout in the corner, level 1 to a wake up light punch. Almost got the anti-air, the jump in is a little bit of damage right there, the fake out. Paper kick takes him to the corner. Backs up, maybe looking for level 1, I'm not sure. Or an air ball. Try to anti-air again, doesn't go for the
that
DP.
was huge.
Go for DP, just in case it whiffs.
Oh, punish counter. The continuation, that was slick. He does get drive gauge, excuse me. Overhead block, the trade. Seiya ready with the crouching medium punch. That's all she wrote. Nice work. Seiya within the right range to get that trade off as well. Crouching medium punch, so clutch in that close standoff. Nice work. The 6-framer clutch god. Seiya up 2 games.
See what you're talking about. The footsies for this character in some ways. Crouching medium punch. And I always see him like also walking back against like the heavy kick that's presented. Like that is a pain point that can be problematic for a lot of characters to have to deal with. That's a big wall button. But Seiya's looking for that option, especially on like an activation point. Knee bomb. Also good decision for the side of Blanca though. Deleting crouching medium kick, low profile on that if need be, or low crushing, excuse me.
Counter hit again. Swipe away. Damn, that's a big jump in.
Try to go for it, but got hit with the swift thrust. Side switch. Yeah. Out of there. Exit side.
Get the option select. Nice call out. Still rather dangerous for both. Single hit. All the drive gauges up. That's the one! Dump out the rest of it. No need to spend bar. Absolutely not. Fenrich trying to claw his way back.
Very desperate too. That crouching medium punch as we've seen has been nerfed. It's effective, one hit, along with even easier to deal with. Find the activation. Level 2. Moneymaker for Finrich. Waka-chan. Oh, big damage incoming. And another setup, I would assume, of course. Go homie doing work. Back kick.
Oh, he's on the bed.
What was a counter hit? Oh.
Damn, that was some bust ass too. Fenrich taking a different approach. I think it was more so against Seiya being a little bit impatient and stubborn on defense on that one, but I don't blame you for being at like the lack of life, doing that twice over. It's understandable. Definitely understandable.
Yeah. Walk level 2 in the corner makes us all feel unusual. But that's been, again, the moneymaker that Fenrich has got to look for, along with the drive gauge up as much as possible. Throwing bows continuously, plus Ring City. DP Ender. The overhead, no, as the jab said, the flip out trade right after does favor Finrich and he gets a hop over. Oh, maybe it doesn't anymore. The whip punishes there. Set point, Seiya. Oh.
Oh. Back heavy punch. Fenrich is trying to at least close the gap around medium punch range too, but Seiya, he's just so active, right? Swift thrust, low forwards. Oh, but this is huge. Punish counter. Trying to bait it out from Seiya. He's big chilling though. Overhead, great block against it. Jump in, big reaction, level 2.
What's the corner? More interaction after this. Waka-chan lands some big damage. Air fireball, or air block, excuse me, became the fireball. Like a comet coming down from the skies, one more touch. The fake out drive rush gets the throw right after. Staving on set point. They were still in this. No way, what a confirm. A big lead right now. With the drive gauge,
50%.
The corner.
Already gone. Option select again, Seiya. Perfect parry, gonna get the side switch. It's a lot of meter. Seiya on defense, he's so sick right now. His pacing has been hard to keep up with. However, the counter poke. Fenrich, level 2, here comes little fella. Not too much of a threat. Not too much threat on the drive gauge either. That could have been a big counter hit as well. If Seiya lands a counter hit stand jab, it's over. I think Fenrich knows it too. He's keeping it sealed.
Right after. Oh, okay.
Keeping it sealed tight.
What a bet. The bust out with the DP.
What do you do about this? Fireball. One more touch. One more fireball. One swift thrust. Any medium. And the throw is here, Seiya! Clutching it out for Nagoya NTPOJA. KB getting the W, Seiya finally getting his W. Getting the revenge overall in the second half. I like that. It's about time, man. I was waiting for Seiya to finally get his W. He was looking a little worried. He hasn't had the best record thus far. Every time he's come up to play, it's been just a little bit short, right? He's had a couple of full blowouts against him. But in the first couple of weeks when he played, it's been rather iffy, actually. First week he got his W, so he had a good debut. But finally getting a W to start off in the first week of the runbacks. I love seeing that from Seiya.
I've seen his defense, his timings, his execution too as well. When he's given these moments, he makes a lot come from those, and he understands that, okay, Finrich, like you want to go for a lot of bar usage. I'm fine with deleting that and putting myself in a prominent position where you got to worry about like this right here. At the very end, could have been anything like you said. Fireball, OD fireball, a medium, any sort of counter hit follow-up right after it. Seiya did a really good job of surviving to get to the point where he could have that lead and take it from there. And then surviving the level 2 mix and up in the corner, little man's trying to hit you from any which way, and you're holding parry, you're blocking it out, and able to take your turn back. Very effective stuff in terms of defense and offense too as well. Being able to ride the momentum right after Seiya. survives for his team 30-10. Nagoya NTPOJA taking the revenge, as you mentioned, over the other squad, CAG OSAKA. Very unfortunate, but I gotta wonder, you know, like, what's gonna be happening with some of these other players like Otani? As you mentioned, Otani hasn't really updated his meta just yet. I don't think he's read the patch notes or what have you. Maybe I have to look over to Tokido. He said no immediately. But like, maybe I have to like look at like Pedro or somebody to figure out what to do with the character.
He needs to look within himself to stop drive rushing. I'll be very honest. It sounds a little disrespectful, but if you really dissect that match, really dissect that tape, it was literally just like drive rush into drive rush into drive rush. I'm like, what is actually happening here? And it was just, I don't know. It felt just so detrimental to like what the team's objective was, like what the practice was with Mochi, right? So I don't know. I think Nagoya has a solid squad too. Like KB currently undefeated. Mochi also putting in the work in comparison to last year, a substantial difference in terms of win record. Having two players like that, pretty powerful. Seiya also playing a pivotal part against the meta, against any other Blanca player that does come his route. I mean, we have Aqua that could possibly play that card as well, but that's a different division. So I don't even know, like, are there any other Blancas within Division S? I'd have to double check. But I like the promise from Nagoya and NTPOJA, and if there's any mistakes that are made from this team, they have a little bit of a comfort. I want to say like a little bit of a comfort zone for them having 120 points. Now they're at 150 points, mind you. They are tied now with Crazy Raccoon. So coming into the second half, they can afford a couple more mistakes, but they also have a couple of more weeks to really sharpen up the rest of their tools, like Otani and Seiya. So I like the way they're looking right now, but there's definitely way more weeks and a lot of room to really improve.
That goes improvement for other teams as well. But as you mentioned, it's great to see almost all the players going to step up to the bat. And I think that this loss is definitely going to make Otani reassess what he has to do, whether it be pick a different character, maybe go to the Terry like he's been practicing in the background, or just look within himself, as you mentioned, and stop drive rushing as much. I mean, he was not doing too bad when he's like able to find like the perfect pairs to drive rush right after. But when those moments were presented, he was kind of trying to force the issue too much. And I think losses like this have to happen early, especially again in the early parts of the seasons. Obviously, we're in the half part of the season, but rather now than later on, we're at like a playoffs opportunity. So we're getting the interviews in. Mochi said the team was really strong, was happy for the win, like cheering for the team. Seiya would have been in so much pressure, but really happy he won. KB says Oreo wasn't playing Mai on CFN, so I was really surprised that he came in first. Oreo was a strong training player, and I won all because of my team's advice. So KB having to take that timeout definitely gave him that advice to get emboldened and figure out what to do in that matchup. By the way, I asked Lashar last week, like, what did your team say to, you know, get your mind in order and come back? He said, the team just told me to be better. And I'm like, all right, Lashar, you're lying to me, bro. Like, all right, whatever. Thanks, brother. So, you know, I'm sure that KB actually got some good opportunities. Like, sometimes a pet talk is real deal. But I think KB actually got some good information that brought himself back to be the most winningest player, or at least one of them out here.
Yeah, I would kind of agree with that. I think it was more so on the plate of Urio, right? Like KB had mentioned it, right? Talking about the CFN. We've all seen it. Urio has been non-stop grinding with C Viper, so it's a little bit of a different look. I think Urio is mostly going off of like intuition for the most part, right? You see the way he plays, like he'll try to steal turns, he'll try to do like a dive kick that's negative into like level 3s. He'll try to go for drive rush command grabs, etc. As much as that works, like there has to be like some sort of conditioning that needs to be like provided prior. But like even so, even if the conditioning's there, KB could also make the proper reads against like what would actually kill a person in this moment. Would it be like if I jumped and it was like a meaty normal, would it have been enough to like kill me? Perhaps, but like it's something more so from the game sense of KB that kind of took it out over Urio, like understanding the way he would want to play.
I can see that. You know, the dive kicks trying to come through against like the stand medium. After he got hit with them a few times, he was like, all right, I know the way to route this back. Seiya said it was all because of Otani, just like he said earlier. So Otani did say that, you know, the team won because of my advice. I'll be the brain of this team from now on. We better be the bronze, bro, because you need every player to be good out here. But regardless, Seiya was happy to get that knowledge from Otani, and he can finally sleep with relief. All right.
My man said I'll be the brain of this team. All right. You know, I'm not against it either. I think sitting yourself out on the bench to prepare yourself and improve is like a pretty big thing to say, right? It's a pretty big step to take. Otani needs it, to be very straight about it. It's not even trying to be rude, like he just needs it right now. He needs to really like rediscover what needs to be done to be a really big benefactor for this team outside of just playing Ken, right? I still think no matter what changes Ken goes through, whether or not he's like the strongest quote-unquote Shoto, right? He's still a Shoto at the end of the day, and he still has the tool set to face off against a lot of the meta. So with that in mind, I think Otani just needs to really reflect and figure out what needs to be done and like catch up with how the flow of the meta goes right now, rather than just going with what he just did this week.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that, again, looking inward and finding a game plan that fits this meta currently and effectively putting on his playstyle, whether it be him taking some time out to do so or not, is going to be what he needs to do. And KB says, next is the home side for the fans. It's going to be offline. We haven't lost a single match in front of the fans, so we'll definitely do well next week. So we'll be seeing that soon. Obviously, it'll be next week. We'll be seeing if anybody's going to be playing C Viper on that squad or not. Maybe KP will be dipping into the Viper. Maybe being in anchor position so he has a little bit more time to grind that out. But speaking of all the grinds out that have been happening out here, thank you so much to Suzuki to allow us to keep grinding out more matches at Street Fighter League Japan. I still have not gotten my picture, and I will go to Capcom Cup, whether hired or not, to go get that dang picture on that bike, because that bike is super sick. I keep missing it on the line every time I go, but I'm gonna do it. I promise, chat. Keep me honest.
He was about to break his microphone setup. I definitely heard that. Yeah, I mean, like, I was actually mad nervous even trying to, like, climb up on the bike, because I'm like, dude, I've never really been on a motorcycle before. I know it can handle, like, a normal human being's weight, but, like, I got bad balance, brother. Like, I didn't want to be the one to mess that up. The people that do have amazing balance, obviously, are going to be invited over to the Red Bull BC1 for the big B-boy and B-girl competition going out there in the World Finals happening November 9th. I wish I could fly out there to check it out myself. I would love to be a part of that crowd because, honestly, that just sounds like a dope time. If you are in Japan, if you happen to be in Tokyo, be sure to check it out. Red Bull doing a big collaboration with Street Fighter, as you had seen, a multitude of different times, different seasons, different games, for that matter. Why not show that love and support? Same with that dance community. Either way, that's match 2. We're getting ready for our marquee matchup between Victrix Travel Gaming and Saishunkan Seoul Kumamoto. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Street Fighter League Japan.
それでは一旦失礼いたします。
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
なんなのそれは。あまりにもでかい。
言うてじゃないか、言うてよ。かっこいい演出
ねえ、気持ちいい瞬間。
しっかり立ちが
うまい。なんなのそれは。そこから。オッケー。
もう彼は天才ですから。
どんな？彼は天才ですから。
ああ、なるほど。
ナイス！暴れ通すのはでかいよ。
はい。
製麺のうますぎ。
はい。どんなんでしょう。
天才か。
いいね、ナイス。
ちょっと画面のちょっと離れて。
うまー。嘘じゃん。
いい使い方。
はいはい。
画面端。
体力差かなりある。
なるほど。強い人だ、強い人だ。
負けない選択肢。はい。
最後はこれ。
そして画面端を作ったのはウリョのチュンリー。
わー。ナイス。
はい。いや、いい。無敵だ。
勢いが増して家族は前に出る。
ナイス。
うまい。あ、呼んでるよ。
ナイス。
ずっとしゃべれないとこもんね。そこ。ナイス。うまいこの人。
天才。
確認している。ラインが上がっている。ウリョどうする？
はい。
足元。
前に出る。
ナイス。
強すぎ。
Victrix, Fabu Gaming, Saishunkan, Kumamoto. Final match of the day. My name is Seiko. I'm joined with Vicious. We've already had some exciting matches occur, and this one is not going to disappoint. Victrix, Fabu Gaming, first up on the away side. It's time for the cold hard math, calculative. It's Ryukichi with the Mai and the Ken. Let's see what can present today and what he'll be bringing out to fight it out. Hero Sunrock, Smoke on that Chun-Li. Sometimes the Mai, but mostly all about the legs. After that's going to be, he digs the graves for you. It's the grave maker himself, Fujimura, who has been mostly, at this point, I would say, full-time Mai as well. If you need a little bit of alleviation from the Mais, you can ask the strongest spear to lead the charge for his pack, Sako on the Aki and the Elena. It's a squad that has some dangerous characters out here, some DLC, and also some unpredictability in terms of how they're going to play. We'll see how they pull up today for their wayside setup.
So much potential with this team too. The switchovers for some of the other characters, other players as well. But I'll pause that point as we get ready for the home squad coming on in. It's Saishunkan, Seoul, Kumamoto. Now, they may not have the best record right now to date when it comes to the overall points, but I still feel like the promise is there. They're currently in 4th place prior to all of the other teams accumulating their points. Not too bad of a change-up considering they have 100 on their side. Let's take a look at Saishunkan, Seoul, Kumamoto with the unstoppable Kobayan with a really wild actual performance over at Evo France. So I'm sure he's coming in with a lot more confidence, along with the Iceman, that is Kosa, former pro figure skater turned pro Street Fighter player. I wonder if he's going to be bringing out the Ryu, but one thing's for sure, it's Mr. Optimal. Also, Machabo coming in with a potential Ryu or Akuma pick, but he's also got to shape it up this week, and I'll tell you why in just a bit as we introduce the Brutal Emperor, Nemo, the leader of Saishunkan Seoul. Kumamoto has done a fantastic job in IRL things with his personal life. I'm really happy for him in general in terms of the directions he's been taking, but in terms of his Street Fighter career, I feel like he's been kind of taking back seat and more of like a coach perspective for this team rather than putting himself into the battlefield more often than not. If you look at his overall record between these last couple of weeks, it kind of shows that way. But outside of the coach, talking about the current roster, right? Saishunkan, Seoul, Kumamoto, Kobayan's been doing an awesome job. He had his W 2-0 last week against Seiya. Machabo a little shaky with the Ryu. I honestly didn't mind his Akuma, but I guess he's really trying to be, I want to say, more of like a Ryu player nowadays if you look at his streams. Looking at Kosa as well, not having the type of success he's been looking for either, right? Fell a little bit short against CAG OSAKA, facing off against Aces Akuma. It's hard to tell who steps up to the plate first. Ooh.
Oh, as asked, we finally get it delivered. Nemo coming up to bat first, which is, I think, okay. In terms of what the other team's presenting, Smoke might have been also good too as well because he'd have the JP. I think Bison does well against Chun-Li. Regardless, you know, I just like to see Nemo, as you mentioned, coming up to bat because he's been in the back foot a little bit on the extra position. We haven't seen him take charge or be in the extra position for his team. So good to see him come out here. Maybe it took him a little bit to get ready for League. Maybe outside things also kind of slipped away. But now he's ready to go against Sako on his Elena. So Bison versus Elena. I feel like this matchup, playing second is, or if the other character has to play second, that's great for Bison. He can harass them. Plus frames continuously back heavy kick, stand fierce. His pokes and reward are really good, and he usually can just kind of let you kind of play your second button with and get that punish and get the bomb on. So the reward for him is pretty good. I don't think it's impossible for Elena, but I do think that Bison doesn't have a horrible time in the neutral overall.
No, I don't think he does. I don't think he does either. I definitely agree with the points where if Bison doesn't have to worry about someone being an aggressive player, I think it's fine. Funny enough, I think Dogra kind of plays that really well. Like we've kind of labeled Elena as being more of like the counter hit type of style, playing second, but Dogra has actually been doing a great job of setting the pace and reinventing the way that Elena can be played. I'm not too sure if Sakonoko can keep up with that kind of pace. And also, to be fair, Sakonoko's been hella grinding out C Viper. So it's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell if Sakonoko is going to be able to set the pace against Nemo, who's rather aggressive in nature, right? I think his playstyle is hard to keep up with in terms of pacing. Even if you saw it in the previous week, right? The way he played in against KB, he did lose that matchup, but it was mostly because he was playing rather aggressively. So I think him going up first against Sakonoko makes a lot more sense now.
I can see that. I can see Sako still playing that, you know, second player sort of style a little bit more than, as you mentioned, Dogra. I can see him not initiating as much. I can see like just the run over that Nemo would like to do, because we've known him for years upon years to be, as you said, single player, aggressive, but even to his own admission, his defense has been kind of lacking. That's the one thing that Sako could definitely take advantage of. If he does score a knockdown, it's great for Elena up in the corner, because lacking defense and the different looks that Elena could give, different media scenarios, the advantage that she gets in terms of damage. When she lands a hit after like a knockdown up in the corner, it can be absolutely devious. So there's something, if you can get him there, you can definitely take that W. Sako says, I don't have much to say about to the opponent. I have something to say to Capcom. Don't release C Viper in times like this. It's too fun in the middle of the season. Stop it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It makes sense, dude. Like, this is what we were talking about, man. It makes me nervous that he says that. Like, I don't know if he's prepped or not for Nemo, because we most definitely have seen Sakonoko CFN and stream just showcasing Viper all day, every day.
Yeah, let's see if we can get it forward this DLC, though. Get back to basics with Elena, the low right there. Sneaking it in after the two-piece. Stand first for the plus frames, that's plus as well. A throw, but the objective is to put him up in the corner and keep that momentum up.
Damn. Fast enough to bait out the level 1. We get the punish counter target combo. We get the spin scythe. We get the Rhino Horn as well. Dancing on in there for plus frames. Backing off just a little bit. This is tough.
DI, oh,
Drive
call,
impact.
gets it back. Heavy kick though. Oh, plus right there.
No way.
He's going to take his turn. He's going to hold parry instead. Way too late in the reward here of Nemo. That was not going to press a button after that. What a combo.
It's hella damage too, man.
And the breaks with the driver stand light kick. Gets a scissor kick counter hit. Yes. Light kick bomb right after. He knows the routings. That DP does hit, excuse me.
Drops the rest of the side. I like that too. That's set up too into dance. Punish counter low medium kick. Nothing really of it too. Not cancelable. Oh my lord. Dump it all out. You're hella. Actually, you're fine. You're fine, right? It's a flesh wound.
But he's in hospice. Dash up throw's gonna do it though. That's gonna cut the cord. First game to Nemo. Oh my God, he was in burnout too. I mean, that's the way that Nemo wants to play. If it takes what it takes, I'll do what it has to do. If I have to put myself in burnout, I'll get that lead up, whatever I can do to dump out the damage and put you on the back foot. Even if I don't score this throw right after, the reward is still gonna be there if I do. Nemo on that single player type beat. First game, him gets the overhead off the target combo. Spacing out the scissor kick, she can punish it. Her stand light kick is pretty decent enough, long reaching enough. It's gonna punish with the stand medium there though.
Looking at the pacing that Nemo's set for Sakonoko thus far has been pretty difficult to kind of like really play proper defense against, right? Trying to guess with some of these parries too, but mostly it's been backing away even after like plus frame scenarios, like, or trying to at least. A lot more of a patient approach, Nemo. The slide! Patience is nothing for him.
And itch, a Bison player has to scratch eventually. See you walking around, easy slide applied. Gets a crouching mini punch OD, gonna get the back fist right after this with the bomb. Great kill for the throw right after. Bomb is on. It's like Hezi right there. And that calls out the tap parry attempt. Very smart stuff from Nemo. Set point for him.
Hella damage too. Oh, confirm on the overhead. Does catch the counter hit with that throw. Exactly. Nemo trying to wake up with buttons. Perfect parry against the Fierce. Look at the damage. Double scratch wheel. Get a throw. There it is. Tech from Nemo. Ooh.
Let's get the overhead though. Takes his turn. Nice air to air, dropping back down to the ground. Okay, Sako finding his bearings with the character. Counter combo with the scaling. You're more than dead.
A little bit of a sigh of relief there from Sakonoko, actually. You're looking at his player cam. But big potential damage that could come in from Nemo, right? Both at level 3. But Nemo actually the one setting the pace. Counter hit. Sorry, punish counter. Another punish counter. Sakonoko trying to get the parry route. Damn, the micro step
right there.
too.
Getting a DI and here gets the wall splat. Bomb,
one more touch,
course.
it's
Not gonna
over.
go for any sort of super.
Could do it one more time. This is where he delays, right? No, it's throw! And Sakonoko thought the exact same thing! Eat these loops for dinner, Playboy! Nemo 2-0. Calling it correctly. The offense just too much for Sakonoko to handle.
3って感じの試合でしたね、これ。
Especially that DLC. And it's not the arena he was on. Sako's like, man, if I was playing Viper though, bro, see me next week, bro. They don't get to play each other anymore. Unfortunately, this is the last run back we're gonna get. This two teams, but you know, Nemo, I mean, he's been watching Sako's Elena. He even said, like, fun to watch, you know, his Elena and how he's been developing the character, but Nemo just super informative decision-making. Honestly, a little bit more staggers than you would typically expect from Nemo. We saw at the very beginning where he kind of just baited out that DPS we see right here, actually, and getting proper punish as well. And then staggered at the very end to get the burnout, the scissor kick, fall right after. He just was just too dominant. There were some moments where Sako definitely had to handle up in the corner, but once Nemo got going, it was hard to stop the momentum, and the bomb makes it so difficult. You're hesitating. You're like, damn, should I parry here? Should I press a button here? And Nemo just, he loves these moments. He lives for these moments. He's been living for these moments since he's been playing the likes of Marvel and things like that. And this all leads to Nemo getting that victory.
Yeah, I think it's exactly what we prefaced it with, right? Like, what happens if Sako is continuously put on the back burner via Nemo's decision-making on offense? And it shows out here, 2-0. But it's really up to the rest of the squad now. Like, I've been a little bit weary about Kosa and Machabo, but it has to be, like, Kosa, right? Oh, damn it. It was a coin flip. It was a coin flip between one of the two Ryus.
I like this. I think that Kobayashi has shown some great things in the Chun-Li matchup, but Moki's a different beast. I don't think he's going to be as risk-averse as Seiya was and break down like Seiya did. So I like that he's not playing this matchup. He's not going to try to test his luck on another Chun-Li. Machabo going up. But I agree. I think it was going to be a Ryu no matter what. Like, it was going to be either Kosa or Machabo. But I'm also with you in terms of, like, I'm wondering why he doesn't play the Akuma. For someone that likes to break down the aerial approach in many games, it's surprising to see a character that has such dominance in the aerial approach not get picked up for him. Obviously, Ryu, if he jumps in, like, the damage is going to be crazy. But the variance that Akuma has, I feel like that would suit his style, but maybe there's something Machabo likes about Ryu that Akuma cannot provide.
Perhaps. I think... I don't want to say like the damage output outside of super, because I really enjoy like Akuma's damage output, like especially coming in from like a punish counter adamant flame. I don't know, man. Is it perhaps maybe Ryu that has like better consistent Oki? if you end with like Tatsu, is it the normals he presents or the special normals he presents with like maybe like solar plexus being strong, fake out fireball with Hashogeki, or even like corner push with like donkey kick? I'm not sure. Like they're pretty similarly structured also, at least on like corner pressure. Although Ryu doesn't have something to start off with, like something like medium enough to be plus. Like the real evident one that we talk about a lot is Akuma's starter with standing medium punch being like +1 on block. But like Ryu can alleviate that with forward fears, right? Like solar plexus is like the bane of a lot of players' existence. Like if that happens to catch, you are in like a dire mix, right? That is +3. That's hard to contest with.
I don't know what Mach was looking for with Ryu, but he's going up with the Ryu against Moke. Moke says it's the second half, and I couldn't do well in the first half, so be more respectful. Moke being respectful. We'll see how long that lasts. I can see Macho was saying, I can go against Moke. That irritates me, so I'll beat him down. Well, that didn't last long, so, you know. All right, Moke.
This kid's funny. I love his enthusiasm, though. He's taking a real, like, sort of like villain arc lately. But, you know, I'm a fan. まあアピールポイントがこの跳ね返すことではなく、ここでももう断言跳ね返します。The Ryu choice in comparison, like a little bit of a extra tidbit. Having that extra 100 HP is nice, right? It doesn't feel like as bad. Like to a lot of people, 100 health isn't that bad. It's like 100 health doesn't really mean a lot to most people, but it does substantially change things up. Going for like certain routes or like going for like certain punish counters, it just feels like Akuma is bleeding a lot more. Like it really does tack on a different meaning when it comes to like some of these big punishes. Akuma could get 2-touched. Ryu, not as often.
I guess that definitely weighs on you a little bit in terms of your decision making, so it might be frees you up for certain other things. We'll see what Macho has though. He didn't like what Moke was saying to him on the stream, so he's gonna concentrate on his play, try to get that revenge. Take throw, we break that though. Put some bar at the bottom from Macho. Yeah, too far out for that jump in. Oh, he's trying to go for a fake out, but the heavy kick was there to catch the throw.
Damn, son. You know, it doesn't matter if you get blown up either way.
Death is still death. You ain't lying. Perfect parry gets the fireball, ready with the drive rush jab. The advancement towards the corner.
Damn, son. So much damage to the drive gauge. There's the Hashogeki pressure. Huge difference when it comes to burnout, right? I guess in comparison to the two characters, you're getting blown up for it.
Now, see you getting shimmy. Okay, Macho gets his revenge. That burnout usually is pretty good for Moke. Was not able to escape and get some room. Macho was in hot pursuit. He's starting off aggressive, blocks out that low. Lu's coming through. Very big party starter for the character. Stand fierce, take the turn back with the forward fierce, target combo. Stocks it with a Dinjin, the jump in, finally lands. To preempt the button. Drive rush overhead. Wasn't able to combo though, trying to go for the stand fierce. I think he maybe made a mistake there, or maybe tried to play a big button.
Either way you spin it, Machibo, slight life lead, still stuck in an awkward position in this corner. Moke doing a great job, or at least thus far, trying to keep it contained. Now Machibo forcing himself into burnout. Does get the positional advantage with that back throw. Trying to catch a delayed normal is Moke, but now puts Machibo, nope, temporarily out of position as Machibo immediately jumps out.
He had the punish counter jab. Couldn't find the fault that he wanted. He puts himself in burnout, level 3. Huge amount of damage, but it won't kill. Gotta make something happen real soon before he gets that bar back. Gets the throw right after.
Oh, not enough.
Not enough to kill. Only fireball. Hold the dash up. The drive rush. Drive rush.
Yeah, that was it.
OD Hashogeki. Oh.
Yeah, that was it either way. That was checkmate. There was nothing Moke could do as soon as he got knocked down. Machibo just needed to keep it tight, keep it with the meaty, standing medium punch. OD Hasho would have led into critical art regardless for the big chip damage.
You know, Moke to be one of those cats that doesn't mind it being burnt out, but that has been a problematic point time and time again in this match right now. I have to hold a little bit of bar in his pocket, keep it for that rainy day scenario, like that jump back. Air to air, take the trade. Better for Machibo to the double dash. Up to the back throw.
A little bit off the mark after that standing medium punch. Moke trying to let it rip with an OD lightning leg instead. That was actually mad random. Level 2, Hoyoku-sen. Not enough. Safe jump. Totally fine, Moke. He wasn't burnout after all. I like the Serenity stance just to reset the timing on the fireball.
Even then he got his bar back as well. Driver's overhead. Too steppy for the crouching medium punch to hit. Machibo hasn't been the proper distance to find some of these follow-ups. Perry tried to go for the forward fierce, it looked like. Moke just a little bit more step ahead, a quicker button play right there. Oh, sharing the same idea, brain cell.
Very close to burnout, does achieve it. Machibo also trying to check the walk back. Sweep! Excuse me? That was rude as hell. My man gonna sweep even if Chun-Li's in burnout that close. Like, Chun-Li can punish it.
Tell him to do it. Oh, they're trading blow for blow. This feels Waffle House parking lot style right now. It's all service with these buttons. Hasho catches and the DI gets a fireball. Side nod from Machibo. He's on set point. A lot of resources he spend. Trying to figure out how to deal with Moke. Moke again has to be careful at the bar that he's spinning. She has to use bar to get that corner carry for damage. The lowest played. Hashogeki Tatsu.
Damn, that last part of that fierce. Sorry, Serenity crouching. Or sorry, now it's crouching heavy punch. Excuse me. Sweep again!
Sweep!
Jesus. Oh, and the overhead. Let me get that level 3. Soul 10. Damage output is okay. Moke has to close it out with drivers perhaps. No, he's just going to walk it out. Low medium kick. Okay, I was about to say, if Machibo lands a solid fierce to the grill, it would have been lights out for Moke. Staying alive against Machibo's actually rather impressive neutral so far against Moke. Like, most of the time I would think like Chun-Li would be the one to kind of dictate the pace a lot more, but Machibo's kind of like hounding down Moke's position quite often. Damn, the delay. Drive rush forward, delay standing medium punch. Does it again. Moke tried to get out of the way.
I guess report for him. A lot of reward for the corner carry. Perfect parry right after. Take the turn back. The fake out, but help parry there is Machibo. Enter splitting fireballs in, but unfortunately, Moke was just too close for that drive rush jab to not hit. The throw. It's not even real, but you're worried about the other things that she can present. Are the throw loops in the room with us? Hits the low right after. Once again, you're worried about all the other things that she can present, and that's really options. That crouching kick, 7 frames with the quickness, level 1 to finish it off. Moke saucing him up in the corner.
Huge difference, by the way, between game 1 and game 2. Moke might have the download against Machibo. Although it looked kind of more so in Machibo's favor right out the gate, but this low medium kick does set the pace quite nicely for Moke. Delayed tech, creating a lot of space for Machibo to walk out of the corner without taking too many risks. However, back into it already from that forward throw. Moke backing up away from the solar plexus, getting the punish counter.
Conversion incoming. That's a level 1 after this. There it is. More bar in the bank, gets the jump heavy kick, and that level 1 to finish it off as per mentioned. Does he even need it? No, he doesn't even need it. It's a perfect KO. Moke with the pop-off, and the defense just wasn't there up in the corner. The throws had elicited so much fear in this man's heart. they weren't even real. But the problem is, 4 medium punch, fireball, crouching medium kick, a jump, and doesn't matter what it is, you're worried about the follow-ups after that. And man, Moke just putting it on and honestly keeping Bar to his pocket, finally not burning out and giving Macho a chance to push him back or take advantage of all that. Is I think the elements that led to his success.
Yeah, I think Moki's understanding of like ranges is also quite sharper than most. Macho just wasn't ready for it too. Like despite what we're seeing in the very first game, he did have a couple of good callouts on some of the slight defense that Moke was lacking in. But if you notice too, like how often he put himself in burnout, Macho did take advantage of that. So there were also some really shining moments from the side of Macho in terms of like situational awareness. But when it came to having to play defense against Moke, it was a whole different story, right? On top of having like Chun-Li's walk speed, the ranges are so hard to like really force errors against when it comes to Chun-Li, right? Like her normals are just so extensive and it could lead to so much that you just kind of drown in it sometimes. And Machibo doing just exactly that.
You saw him even try to go for like that forward fierce, and Moke was so clear about that. He hit the backdash sweep against that. He knew what was coming through. He knows the danger of that +3, as you mentioned. And now it's 10-10. It comes down to this for our final match of the night. We have a final game. Does Kosa come up? It can't be Kobe on.
Give me Kobe on, bro. Give me Kobe on, bro.
Oh, you're getting Kobe on.
Give me Kobe on, bro. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. If anybody could do it, Kobe on could deliver some bus ass. I think he's been, I want to say like, his understanding of like bad matchups is top notch, right? Like his understanding of like how to break down some of his losses and really keep the opponents on edge, top notch for sure.
I think one of the shining examples for him in this matchup was like him fighting NuckleDo and how he was able to time his jabs and his mediums so perfectly to avoid the fan follow-ups and to be able to kind of just walk down a character that usually walks you down with their projectiles or mediums and things like that and stay solid. His pokes with his crouching medium kick, his sweeps, and now it feels like he's implementing almost another side of himself where he's going for more resets with SPDs. It's hard to read what he wants to do now on that offense. It before felt like he's more like a footsie-based player. He's more willing to do drive rush cancels off like jabs and mediums and things like that here and there. But he's looking for like a lead up in health. Now he's going for resets. He's making bigger reads and things like that. There's a little bit of Edith on it, I feel like, in him and his game plan. So I don't mind this at all. I think this is actually a good idea considering what we saw over in France, where he's been able to get to see my players. Even when I see him on CFN, how he's been able to operate. But Ryukichi, on the other side of things, even though it hasn't been as impressive in terms of what he's done, like in the CPTs and stuff like that, him as a player, getting the mind to this spot where he's comparable is actually problematic for people who have to fight. It's nothing short of incredible considering what we saw at EWC. And EWC was underbaked, it wasn't ready. But here now, the Mai is actually a real deal character. However, I think if things do get dicey for him, a Ken pick is not going to be a thing that he wants to go to because Ken and Keith don't match up very well. Keith players don't mind that matchup. Ken players are looking for like a counter pick so much that we've seen people go to Jamie, for example, with Boost. Ryukichi says, I heard Zenkeith was the 5th worst player, maybe than character. He's going against Mai, the top tier player. Don't make me laugh.
So do you remember how Kobayan made it into top 8 from, or actually who he played off in top 16 to make it into top 8 from Evil France?
It was Du was one of them, if I'm not mistaken.
It was Du. It was just Du.
I know he beat NuckleDo.
Right, because you just need a W to move it into like top 8, right?
Because he's winner side.
So
duh.
yeah, because he's winner side. So Kobayan actually took down NuckleDo's Mai, and NuckleDo's Mai was looking mad sharp. Like in comparison to Ryukichi, it's still a toss-up. It's hard to say like who has the better Mai right now. But as it stands, Kobayan is very, very comfortable in that matchup. Like we saw that played out. It was 2-0 over NuckleDo. Mind you, every round went the distance. But Kobayan is definitely well prepared for this exact matchup, especially in the hands of someone like NuckleDo.
So like Du who like is such a good like lockdown sort of player with like the fireballs and stuff like that, which is such a different look with Mai. He was ready for that different look that was presented with the Mai. And as you mentioned, like maybe it's a toss-up between like him and Ryukichi, but in terms of like results, recent results like offline, Du is up there. So Ryukichi good luck to you, because you cannot be talking crazy and saying that this is like one of the worst characters and you're like one of the top characters out here. You're setting yourself up for failure. Kobeon already getting in. The OEDP is there to meet him on the drive rush up.
$11K health on this bad boy. I had to fix my face because Chico called me out for calling the wrong denominations. I'm old, man. Bang! Kobeon, not so old, actually. He's actually been doing work with his character, and it shows. First round for him. The big post coming in from Ryukichi to start things off, though. It's a whole different story if Zangief is in the corner. I'm glad Ryukichi didn't go for the throw. Kobeon made the read of going for the backdash. Uh-oh! Bam!
Burnout, but not out options. He's got that level 2. Charge, stand fierce also. Defensive tool. Not a counter combo. He's trying to open up the door. The bar's almost back. But for your troubles, you're up in the corner now. Try press jab. The second jab slightly delayed. Finds an opening. Take the we break that though. Oh, you cannot do that. The stand medium stuff. His stand medium is wise. Kobeon's game plan.
That's fine for Kobeon. Ryukichi has to start the third round with no resources to himself. It's not going to be a lot to kind of get into like any sort of normal sequence into level 1 buff. Kobeon, he's willing to fight this out. This is so much of a better look in comparison to any other situation right now for Kobeon. Sit him back down with a headbutt. Medium punch confirmed. Ryukichi on the way towards the other side. Forward throw, dash up. What's the pressure like? Kobeon trying to jump out, perhaps. That's why the meaty worked out. Sweep to check Kobeon's advances. Very tough to call. Kobeon does have a little bit of space to breathe, getting himself out of the corner. Neutral jump, anticipating the armor. Ryukichi, one more touch. While in burnout, 2 bars to himself. Drive impact, nothing.
Chilling, it's cool. Got bar at the bottom.
Again.
Reaction super just yet. The interruption over the overhead, the wheel kick. And Ryukichi's been so tight-knit with his pressure. Like, you see him do, like, dash-up jabs, delaying jabs to find openings. When he backdash, he's looking for stand medium to catch against a preemptive stand fierce. He knows what to do in these ranges once he gets close enough. And it's kind of dangerous because you are close in that SPD range, but these buttons are too fast, too furious. Oh, there's the fireball follow-up, but Kobeon not the third. Or so I thought, the sweep off the feet against the stand fierce. Second fan, parry.
Yeah, this is exactly why like I was much more comfortable about Kobeon coming up to the plate, right? Even against charged fans, the armor, Ryukichi has to respect it. Even if he gets hit by the second part of it, he has enough life to deter that and write it off.
Take your own mind. They switch on their head. OD to avoid, but that's exactly what Ryukichi wanted him to do.
A little bit too ambitious from the side of Kobeon. Ryukichi is just too stable. It's wild that they're playing off against each other again. The last time they played each other on a big stage was what, Evo Japan for top 3.
Oh yeah. Yeah. She was on the can. Came on my guy. Way back heavy kick right there. No opening from Kobeon. Deep with it. Still gets it
Just in
off.
time. Oh, tried to sweep. No whip punish here. The punish counter instead from Ryukichi. That's all she wrote. 2 games straight. Looking at a third. Potentially. Ryukichi is just so in control of this matchup. There's got to be a timeout being called from Saishunkan Kumamoto, right?
Save him. Save him. Thank God. He is getting cooked right now. Listen, I think when... Maybe this isn't like an excuse. It's not an excuse, I swear to God. But I feel like when you do really well at a tournament, especially if it's a matchup that you think is upcoming or whatever, and you're a player on the other side of things, you're going to study that even more intrinsically. When a player does well, like a top 8 or like whatever it may be in that top spot, you're like, okay, damn, this guy might be a threat right here. It happened similar when Kobeon was like starting out, was getting really good, getting this year. We did well in Topanga previously. I think this happens to every player where people get studied, their habits get studied, because Ryukichi's running these sweeps, he's out poking him in these ranges, he is outplaying him in things that he would usually like to do, and it's got to be a part of the study. No matter how good you are in that top 8, you have a target on your back now. And so I'm sure Ryukichi, although he was talking smack, was definitely studying up on how to deal with the likes of Kobeon and his style of keep and his style of play, and he comes up, I'm going to have to fight him in this sort of way. So the way that Ryukichi is locking him down, I really don't know what Kobeon can do, because I don't think the same strategy that worked on Knuckle Do would work out here, because the Knuckle Do strategy was like really anti-fireball, and really, I'm gonna get my lead, get my trades off. This one, there are barely any trades that are happening in favor, because by the time a trade happens, other interaction happens, and Ryukichi gets a lead after that. So he can't really do that same sort of style. Like, there are more buttons presented than fireballs.
I would agree with that. Like, I think the pacing overall is different in comparison to the way that Knuckle Dude played to the current way that Ryukichi is playing. Right? I think like he's been much more aware of Kobeon's style and how he's been playing more second to, like, more or less second towards like some of the actions taken. Right? He's done a great job against Fierces. He's done a great job against drive rushes. He's prepared himself within the ranges of sweep. If so long as Ryukichi is ambiguous on offense as well, it's much harder for Kobeon to even get these opportunities for big reads, for like offensively big reads into like SPDs or whatever. So yeah, as long as Ryukichi scores that knockdown, doesn't let off the gas, you can see Kobeon pretty much dealing the damage to himself, trying to get out. Right? He was taking a lot of like backdashes, he was taking a lot of jumps on meaties, and then also when Ryukichi's like, you know what, I don't need to like pursue my offense too hard, I could just kind of back away and force Kobeon to do the rest of the damage to himself, I think I'm fine. So the pace setting is much more effective with the way Ryukichi plays in comparison to how Knuckle Do approached the matchup. Or at least, not necessarily the character matchup, but the player matchup.
100% agree. Ryukichi, keep doing what you're doing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. How's that able to land though? Kobeon get a decent pickup, but the walk back again, but no conversion would happen. You had the DRC. When drops happen to you, Ryukichi, don't let it happen to you. Try to reversal, offensive style up in the corner. The dive kick still works out because it was slightly delayed to beat that. Now you're in burnout.
Yeah, that's so ambiguous too. Like, that's so hard to tell with the way like he spaces out his hop knee. Ryukichi anticipated the SPD perhaps, but him not jumping backwards is a whole different thing too, right? Like, jumping backwards would have just evaded all that altogether, perhaps. Ooh, fierce, give me that. Uh-oh. Don't let him do it to you.
The driver's seat with the jabs. Oh, way delayed right there. That heavy kick. Cody is out. Only parry for life. Try to parry, but that does put him in burnout. You got a lot of board to work with right now for Ryukichi, so you can hit the level 1, enhance fans, or you can hit that stand fierce level 3. Pardon me, we're gonna spend every bit of cash that we have in our pockets. The kill though.
Oh, one more touch for Ryukichi. So difficult though to throw a fan. Obviously level 2 is intact, doesn't even matter. The reversal coming in, although it's got a lot of verticality to it, the OD version moves her just slightly forward for the chip. Actually, it caught Kobeon moving forward. It says OD, it doesn't say chip at all.
Hit brawl. Oh, you trying to read? Too slow, unfortunately. With a god like you were able to get that SPD off, but unfortunately Ryukichi just too wily. Plus frames, SPD, back to neutral. Drive rush up for the sweep. Knockdown. Gets the medium. Level 2 and level 1. Or do we go for Worst Dynamite? Go for the level 1, okay.
Targeted no might.
That's what you want. Take the trades if they need to come through, or you'll just hit the raw crouching leg kick. Kobeon bringing it back, but not for nothing. Honestly, Ryukichi, I feel like there were a lot of moments, especially at the beginning, that he had real confirms that led into like a lot of damage and the carry. He cleans it up. It's gonna be harder for Kobeon to bring it back. Like this.
Oh. Ah, Ryukichi caught flinching. And by the health stab actually connected. Oh my god, that fierce just gets whip punished by the headbutt. Slam her down. Oh, the elbow drop to continue. Hella damage.
The fact that he would punish Stan Fierce with headbutt. Crazy work. Kobeon, a lot of reward right now. Wrestle jabs on the wake up though. There's the Oki. You're in burnout now. Kobe swept up the feet. Look at Ashy up in the corner. No follow up though here from Ryukichi. Another sweep. Switch up denied. Normal Laureate was all he needed. 3-piece chop. Don't get too close. He's churning. Bring in that butter.
Damn.
Turn back. The cross up. Back that swing. Yeah,
Can't
don't get
throw
too
a
close
fan.
because you know. Yep. Oh, he does it anyway. He has it behind it though.
Yeah, he's trying to bait it out too. Ryukichi's looking for a reaction from Kobe on. He actually throws the fan out anyway. The fast OD.
Oh, I'd be so tight. At that distance too. Hard level 2 on reaction. So many different looks. Ryukichi on set point now.
Oh. Oh, scoop
He's
him up.
in.
Nope, not
Okay.
today. Don't let him have it. To my loyal fans. Damn. What a screen grab. Kobe on. Lands the level 3. Huh?
Always for the fans, huh? Kobe's got to go over the corner.
Damn!
Flame spin into the super. CA, so extra damage on the way. Kobe on sweat, so we're going to take a swig of that water. But that means more OD gauge, so that's more OD fans that could be coming through, or just become the fireball. Just the pressure with the OD fireball right there, not trying to get too close. And slip up and get gripped up. It's a stand fierce, he has slipped up, playing a bunch. Stay sucker free. Ryukichi takes it over Kobeon. With the pop-off as well. Oh man, he was just too much to deal with. Too wily, too slimy. You couldn't get a hold of him.
That's an unsolicited pop-off, brother. Come on, man. Like, you were up a whole game. You were like controlling the pace, and you're playing mine. Come on, brother. Kobeon's pissed, by
Silver
the way.
spoon.
Kobeon,
Bro,
he is upsetty spaghetti, dude. Like, both these cats are mad emotional, too. Like, they definitely wear their heart on their sleeves. You see it on, like, streams. You see it in, like high-end events, like like tier 1 events. You see them on, like, on the big stage. They definitely wear their emotions out there. So it's crazy to see, too. Like, Ryukichi still, like, popping off, and Kobeon, you can see how heavy all these losses are for him.
It's unfortunate because I feel like once you have a good handle on the matchup, then someone presents a way different look, and you're like, damn, now I gotta go back to the lab again with this. I thought I had this down. I was supposed to be like the shiny hero. That's probably why they sit him up there, because he did so well over at Evo against Uncle That showcase was so dominant in terms of 2-0 and what you should be doing with jabs and things like that. But again, this is a different look. It's Ryukichi not just throwing out fans and fireballs and trying to space them out like that. He's becoming the fireball with drive rush jab. He's harassing at these ranges, and when the level 3 and the SPD are about to come out, he just backdashes away. He's like, I can't get the command grab off. But well done to Ryukichi to put up for his team, get the max amount of points, at least what they could do, and they walk away as the victors. And I think, does that mean I lost? Oh, my prediction, lost prediction for this one. Dang.
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
You know, I was rooting for that exact kind of like I want to say I had a very similar lineup for the home team, but I mean I was one off, you know, like it's fine. Although I don't know what I was thinking with like the CAG OSAKA Nagoya NTPOJA one. That one ended up kind of close too, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Can't all be
hopeful.
100%, you know.
You're just being hopeful, man. I get it. I get it. Fujimura, the winner interview. Rikishi was so nervous before the match, saying Zangief is not the 5th worst character. You know, I love when a character gets like a top spot, and people are like, "Did you see that? They're not that bad. The character's not that bad." Whether they're right or wrong, it is so funny to see that. But you know, Fujimura said he's just so glad it's over. GG's, and I don't whether the character is like the 5th worst or not. It doesn't matter in this game. Anybody can get cooked. Anybody can get it. Doesn't matter what character it is. If Lily can win a World Warrior at the most stat World Warrior, and if Geef can get the winner's side of EVO with all these bad matchups, I don't want to hear it in terms of this character's this bad or whatever. But anyway, that's not what they're saying. I just want to go on a little bit of rant. Psycho says, it's all because of C Viper. I'll make it work next time. You gonna blame the DLC, the other DLC? You know what? You're right though. You've been playing like 50 hours of the character. First couple of days, it makes sense. I understand where your time has been spent. Sako.
That's wild. And it's wild because he's right. That's all he's been doing on stream. He's been playing C Viper. And I guess it worked out for him. He's got hella teammates to back him up. So either way you spin it, I think he was going to be just fine regardless. Excellent work in regards to the recovery of that first L. So Moke also bringing it back against Machabo, taking that first loss. It looked like Machabo was going to put him on the ropes, but the adjustments made of like how he spaced himself out against Machabo and pursued his offense too, rather impressive. Ryukichi, I talked about this earlier during the team intros. Him switching over to Mai and letting go of Ken with how powerful he was throughout like his season. I don't know if I'm a robot right now because my internet is very choppy. Hold on. Am I good? Am I all right?
You're good now. You're good. You're good. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay. Sorry. Anyways, Ryukichi's transition from one strong character to another strong character only benefits him because of how strong of a player he is. That's my underlying.
You know, it doesn't really work out for every player, but it works out for him. You know, that technicality he has with the character. You can see like sweeps where like a prevalent thing, because it is kind of hard for Geef to find a proper punish, like to sweep her back or get like a stand leg kick with punish. It's difficult to enact that game plan. And he definitely knows that. That's something that we've seen with Ken, we see it with Zangief. And Rikishi says, I was beaten by Zangief all the time, but standing fierce punch worked out for me. What's wild is that is true, because I feel like Geef has been a problematic character for him because he did play Ken obviously previously. And he was a little bit, you know, hot about that one. By the way, Moke did say, you know, that he's been waiting for that victory, as you mentioned, for so long. He did mention that Macho's interview went a little bit too long in terms of like the rebuttal, because they were kind of going back and forth. But yeah, back on Ryukichi, it's great to see him work it with the character, no matter how much you do or don't like Mai. It's good to see some of these players actually pick up the character and work with them, because not everybody's making results with Mai, whether it be out here in League or CPT. In fact, there's not that many in like top spots at CPT and top 8, but conversation for a different day. He also says Zangief versus Mai matchup, he thinks it's Mai's game, but you can see on my CFN and see me getting beat by Zangief. I'm so glad I won. Once again, very emotional cat. Very, very emotional cat.
I don't know if I believe him. I'm gonna have to look at his. I'm gonna have to look at his CSN. I don't know if I believe him for a second. No, but I mean, all jokes aside, it's understandable. Like, we started to see some of the inner workings of like how that matchup can be played on a top tier. Kobayan utilizing armor to blow up the fans is pretty good. Kobayan also utilizing sweep to catch the fans also is really, really strong, because you saw he did sweep, get hit by the second part of the fan. Yeah, it's block the first one, sweep, and then drive rush forward for frame advantage. That's actually pretty tricky. So there are some really interesting ways for Zangief to contest against Fan, like really unorthodox ways. Kobayan has it, but Ryukichi took wind of that pretty early on, so it's hard to come back from that, really. And even Ryukichi took some rather significant risks. Like, while Kobayan had meter to himself, he was kind of like teasing the idea of like throwing a fan out. Like, we saw that instance where he was like whiffing throw from certain distances to see if Kobayan would react. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna throw this OD one out. Let me see if he's really got it like that. And I think that's really smart to do. Like, if you know what your opponent is looking for, you kind of, I think it's worth it to test whether or not they can actually execute it.
Yeah, never take off the table too as well. You know, I like the
やってほしくないけどね。
Kobe on shout out right there. I'm assuming that's what that is. But yeah, like we saw Odie fan, and then like it got contested with the Odie laureate, and then so he's like, cool, I'll just put out a certain range where I can whip punish your Odie laureate that time, the next time I mean, and then he went for dive kick right after that. So like you can see the evolution of just using like one tool, which is super sick, and that again shows you like the prowess of somebody who actually puts in time into a character instead of just being like, I'll just take what's top tier out here. The execution was great, and that leads us to this: Good 8 Squad 30-20 revenge on Crazy Raccoon. NTPOJA 830 over CAG Osaka. They're walking away with 10 and 30-10. Victrix Fabu Gaming taking down Saishunkan Kumamoto. That rounds out the day, and this rounds out our points spread. Good 8 Squad, the top spot, 20 away from Nagoya. NTPOJA, Crazy Raccoon tied in differential with NTPOJA. Saishunkan Kumamoto 110 and Victrix Fabu Gaming 110. CAG Osaka, they need some points, brother. They need them bad. They're outside with a cup in their hand. Is points, please, because they only have 80 to their name right now. They need to be given some soon, or we have to earn some, because 40 bombers at this point are going to be very, very much needed for them.
It's wild to see like how much of a difference it was from the very first interaction of week number 1 going into the first week of the second half, right? We've had completely different results in terms of these Ws, and I like that. I love the adaptations being made. I love the current point spread here in Division S. It still keeps it extremely competitive throughout the weeks leading into playoffs. Even the bottom half, 4, 5, and 6, there's still plenty of chances to make that run back happen. Although we see some of these teams on a downward slope and others in a really high trajectory, it still could be anyone's game.
Look at this, Good 8 Squad from the bottom to the top, staying up there, of course, and we've seen the variation. I mean, that's how League is, a lot of adaptations, and now we're going to be seeing what's going to be happening on the 24th. Ooh, yo, Zeta versus Reject, Pharrell versus Bushinkan, and then Detonation Focus Me versus Hiroshima Team Itsuka. That's what's coming up on the 24th. You do not want to miss it. That's going to be this week, count it, this week on Friday. Wake up nice and early or watch the VODs, whatever it may be, to catch this action. I know we can't wait to see that very first match and see how that unfolds, but all of this is going to be super sick.
I really hope we get to see the return of Kakeru. I know he's been on a hiatus due to doctor's orders. There were some screen grabs of him playing Sea Viper lately, but I hope he's doing well. Moving on into the following week, next Tuesday, Division S resumes with week number 7. Victrix Fabu Gaming versus Nagoya NTPOJA. Saishunkan Seoul Kumamoto going up against Crazy Raccoon, followed by Good 8 Squad against CAG Osaka.
Bangers upon bangers upon bangers, people. You don't want to miss any of this action at all. And again, as we get that halfway point of the season, we get the run back, start to see the adaptations even more so, the strategies for the teams who they send up. Now see Viper, the next time that we meet people, will be ready to be played and available, will be legal for tournament play. So you'll definitely catch some of these players, if not a lot of them, trying to play it out. And I'm wondering who's going to be running the mirror matches, if they're going to be willing to do so, if they're just going to be playing the character off the rip no matter what, or if they're just going to hold back just a little bit. But that's going to be exciting to see the meta switch up a little bit. We'll see what she counters, what counters her. But I imagine with all those things being in contention combined with the second half of the season coming through, it's going to equal even greater, even better Street Fighter action we've had previously. This has been the best season. And to round out the rest of the season, you're going to see what's going down in November, the last part of October, obviously, right there you see, and November, as well as the Chengdu tournament coming up on the 1st and 2nd. That is a beautiful birthday gift for me. I get to watch that the weekend. I'm probably going to be hanging out and checking that out with all of you, as well as the World Warriors. And then, of course, you get the playoffs in December. Mark those on your calendars right now. You do not want to miss it at all.
Damn, dude. So much Street Fighter to be had these next couple of months, man. Really excited to see how this offline premiere works out. It is the final auto-qualifying spot to make yourself into Capcom Cup 12, and also a gang of points for those vying for those qualifying spots. That's going to be so exciting to watch, genuinely. I'm definitely going to lose sleep over it. I know Senkola is going to be doing so as well. I'm hoping and looking forward to seeing everybody else in that chat. It's going to be a banger regardless. Capcom Cup 12, I feel like we talked about what the date is going to be. It's probably going to be right around the corner when it comes to how time's been moving lately, because it's already October, ladies and gentlemen. It's kind of wild. The tickets now are on sale. If you guys want to try to make yourself, you know, a little bit of a vacation a little bit earlier on. It's going to be happening in March. You see it right there, March 11th through the 15th. But we also have Street Fighter League Grand Finals for Japan happening in January, if I'm not mistaken. But this is what we're looking forward to as well. Next Sunday, Japan World Warrior, week number 3. With how hotly contested it gets, there's easily so many contestants, so many players that enter in that you don't want to miss it. It's like, what, 1,700 in week number 2? We had over 3,400 in week number 1. I'm hoping to see the same type of numbers going into week number 3 with the public viewing as well. It's so sick to see all of them put together in the same room talking about it. But yeah, man, a lot in the works in Japan, a lot in the works in the realm of Capcom Pro Tour, and also in the works of Street Fighter League, both EU and US. It's been a banger of a time to be a Street Fighter fan as we continue on doing so. In the meantime, it's been real fun to see the first week of Division S in their run back. We await the big run backs coming in for Division F afterwards. In the meantime, we hope you guys enjoyed yourself. It's been our time, Vicious and St. Cola. We hope you guys have a wonderful week, and we'll see you guys in just a few more days. Please, please, please enjoy your time with Viper and Street Fighter 6. We'll see you guys real soon on the other side. Take care, everyone. Peace out.
この後は選手の音声入り本日のハイライト動画をご覧いただきながらお別れとさせていただきます。では続くストリートファイターリーグでお会いいたしましょう。それまでさようなら。さあもう早速準備が整っているようです。川野選手は号機での出陣になります。シュッと止める距離が遠い。
足止めだったんだけどな。
投げ抜き応じない。中段を見ている。この夢制することはできるか。数の子をただ踏み込んだところ、ノーマルでヒットで当たっている。ゲージ十分でしょう。タイガーバッシュ。
パリをするフェイントでしたね。
追い詰めたなシュート。
タッチ攻撃先端。
パリを投げる。
ナイス。超でかい。
いやこれは操作してから余命です。
前に来るコブラ。リバ残りそうか。上。ラッキー
運がいい。運がいい、やっぱり。いや、横入っちゃったな、最後。いや、しょうがない。
ピンポイント。中盤飛び越えた。さっきの小投げがあるから読んでいる。ここ一番読んだ。
エイター名物ダブルパーフェクトか。
どう見た。まさかこれは
まさか
OD からの波動を打ち上げ。そんな SA3 足りそうだぞ。
すごすぎる。
完璧な
めちゃくちゃうまかった。
まだ待ってる。まだやんの。内容は本当に良かった。
マジでお疲れ。
もう気断できない。そんな体力です。
この距離はアマゾンリバーに抜けられない。なので踏み込んできた。
ここで中足から
抜けられない。
ナイスマジでかいやな。大谷君の言う通り。大谷君の言う通りだ。マジででかすぎるこれ。
抜けられない。なので。
すいません。
惜
しかった。甘かった。
ですね。2択。
次はさっきは上から来て踏まなかったか。通常投げで
投げ2回圏内かな。もう抜けられないぞ。もう食らえないぞ。
投げなー。逃げじゃ十分だ。ここは SS に回していく。
バーと刺したいという思惑がありますね。第
ここからパリきた。これが通っている。ダッシュからゲージも十分でしょう。これでパー十分でしょう。
おいしい。ナイスこれやからほら。いやナイス。
マッチポイントは龍吉の前。
うわ差し返した。
それを釣り出している。残るか。足りている。
いやー、どんまいだな。
どんまいだな。いや、よく粘った。
よく勝ったね。今のよく勝った。よく勝った。